From the brand new Frontwave Arena in Oceanside, California, it's the Ron Newman Cup Finals. The Major Arena Soccer League is down to the final two. It's the San Diego Sockers hosting the Chihuahua Savage in Game 1. And a very pleasant good evening, everybody. Alongside Brian Farber, Craig Elston on hand with you. After 144 regular season games, 6 more in the postseason, we're down to the final two, and it's the two that you would have expected from the beginning of the year. It's the Chihuahua Savage, the back-to-back Ron Newman Cup champions. It's the San Diego Sockers, the team that won the two prior to that. Something's got to give as they meet for the 4th straight year, Farbs.
That's right. The last 4 straight championships have come through these two teams. They know each other very, very well. The big thing, I think, here is the home field advantage. When you get to host that third game or the mini game, if it gets there, it's crucial to be on your floor. We're here in San Diego because these two teams tied with a 20-4 record, but Chihuahua was able to close out more victories in regulation, forcing those extra 2 points, winning the Community Shield. It's an absolute must-win tonight for San Diego here in Frontwave Arena to try to go down to Mexico with 2 chances to win a championship.
Yes, and if they can do that, the Sockers would be able to capture their 3rd MASL championship and the 17th in the franchise's history. We're going to focus on the Stars right now because while this is match 151 for the MASL, it might be match number 1 for you watching in the audience. So when you talk about the San Diego Sockers, you talk about the man who's put in more goals than anyone who's ever worn the crest all the way back to 1980. That's Craig Childs.
Yeah, Craig is he's focused, ready. I just talked to him in the locker room. He's got that look in his eye, so I'm expecting him to come out and lead this team. You know, that could be with points or that could just be with his veteran leadership, but these guys are ready.
Meanwhile, for Chihuahua, Jorge Rios, he is one of the front runners and one of the finalists for the MVP in this league. He was finals MVP 2 seasons ago, and if he scores, Chihuahua's really hard to beat.
Yeah, I was not in their locker room, but I have been watching a lot of tape on him and what he's been able to do this season and through the last couple of weeks. I'm sure he'll be ready to come out here and try to make a statement in Frontwave Arena.
We hope we're going to make a statement of showing you the very best of indoor soccer. It's the Ron Newman Cup Finals, Game 1, San Diego and Chihuahua. We're back with starting lineups and opening kickoff next on the CBS Sports Golazo Network. Welcome back live inside Frontwave Arena in Oceanside, North County, San Diego County, California. It's game one of the Ron Newman Cup Finals presented by Verizon, the San Diego Sockers, and the Chihuahua Savage. With Brian Farber, I'm Craig Elston, and our Amota broadcast team. Third member of our on-air crew is Melissa May.
Today marks the beginning of the end of this 2024-25 MASL season, as tonight's game is the last game to be played in the United States this season. We are just a week away from crowning this year's Ron Newman Cup champion. It's also the end of the beginning of Frontwave Arena, the soccer's new home in Oceanside, California. Since opening last September, the arena is now home to the Sockers, the San Diego Clippers, the San Diego Strike Force, hosted numerous concerts of various genres, high school championships, and so much more. For the Sockers, it's been a success on all fronts. Attendance has nearly doubled since last season at Pechanga Arena, and the club is now drawing an average of 3,500 fans a game. The team is also undefeated, 14-0 in their new home. I had a chance to speak with several players before tonight's game, both veterans and newcomers, and there's a mixed bag of emotions in the locker room tonight, ranging from excited to nervous. But the one thing every player said is how bad they want to bring the Ron Newman Cup back to San Diego for their family, for their friends, and of course their loyal fans. Well, in order for San Diego to have a chance to host that 17th championship banner next season, they're going to need to put together their 15th home win tonight. Craig, Farber, back to you.
Crazy to see Chebo.
Thank you very much, Melissa. Let's take a look at these two championship finalists. We start with the San Diego Sockers, the number 2 seed. They host game one of this best of 3. The rest of it will be decided south of the border. 20-4, 56 points. Second place, 2 points, as Brian mentioned in our open behind Chihuahua. Charlie Gonzalez, leading scorer in the regular season with 36 points. Gabriel Costa, 3 goals, 5 points so far through 2 playoff matches. They beat Empire 4-2 in the quarterfinals. They beat Baltimore 11-3 in the semis. For Chihuahua, an identical 20-4 record, but 2 more regulation wins. That meant 2 more points. That meant the Supporters' Shield. Jorge Rios not only led the Savage, but the league with 33 goals and 52 points. Hugo Puentes has led the way so far in the playoffs with 3 goals, 4 points. They beat they beat St. Louis 5-1. They beat Milwaukee 7-6 in overtime. Those are your paths to the finals. Chihuahua is wearing white tops, red shorts, red socks. They'll run right to left across your screens in this opening 15-minute quarter. The Sockers wearing their alternates. They're black and yellow. They will go left to right. 15 minutes are up on the clock. Rich Grady, the Gino Dippolito MASL Referee of the Year, is down on the floor with Kyle Trimble, and we are underway with the 2025 Ron Newman Cup Finals. It's the Sockers and the Savage, and one of these two franchises come next Sunday, Easter Sunday, down in Mexico in Chihuahua. One of these two will be lifting up that Ron Newman Cup you saw next to Melissa in her pregame hit, and it'll be the 5th straight season that one of these two teams is league champion. Boris Pardo, one of the best clutch playoff keepers in this league's history, sends it into Leonardo de Oliveira. Leo, the Brazilian, working in the corner. Past the referee Trimble. Costa leaves it out for Luis Pee-wee Ortega. Pee-wee sends it off corner glass. Tavoy Morgan bumped down there. Tavoy goes down there, and the whistle is called against Escalante. Brian, both players were locked arms going down.
Yeah, it's a little awkward on the fall. Tavoy seems to be a little shaken up. Caught feet with Escalante as they both fell down, but nice free kick opportunity here for the Sockers early on.
Morgan looks like maybe he wrenched his shoulder a little bit. He keeps reaching and grabbing at his left shoulder, but he's going to stay on for the free kick. So how much does it hurt? Depends who you ask. Childs lifts it across. Leonardo de Oliveira takes a touch. Good defense by Chihuahua. Costa now to the back post. Header. Goal! On the scoreboard and the good foot. 1-0 San Diego.
Yeah, they got the ball wide here to Costa. He was looking for the back post the whole time. Found Tavoy's head. You can see this ball in. He knew where he was going with it. He was able to get a piece, sneak it in the near post.
A goal 53 seconds into the action. It's got a spirited crowd here that's still finding their seats at Frontwave Arena, getting their yellow rally towels up and rolling. Costa with his team best 6th point of the postseason, and Tavoy Morgan picking up the goal, his 2nd of the playoffs. Tavoy led the club with 26 goals in the regular season. So a picture-perfect start for San Diego. Early set piece, early joy, early 1-0 lead.
Well, that'll show you the indoor game. The fouls down there in the corner, although it seemed like nothing, are so important. Keeping that ball, resetting, and having an opportunity for that set piece, which ultimately turned into a goal. It wasn't directly off the set piece, but it was part of it.
Now it's Chihuahua's turn to probe with the veteran Carlos Popper Hernandez working in on the left wall. Popper, who's got a powerful right foot, puts it in and deflected off the back of Charlie Gonzalez. It's an equalizer. So just like that, a ball that was actually ticketed to go wide deflects off a soccer, and Chihuahua gets instantaneous relief.
Yeah, he wanted the one-on-one with Drew. He got it wide. Looked like the angle was cut well. He was able to get the shot off, but unlucky on Charlie's point. Hits him on the back of the hip and goes near post on Boris. That's that's what happens when you take shots.
That's goal at 1:12. So the response is literally 19 seconds later, and this finals is off to a rip-roaring start at 1-1 already. Now, even though if you're a fan of the outdoor game, you might be thinking, oh, that's written down as an own goal. Player whose shot gets credit. Here's Keiko Gontan, his shot punched out by Diego Reynoso. So Hernandez does get credit for that goal, his first of the playoffs. Here comes Sebastian Mendez on approach for San Diego. Down to the Spaniard Gontan, looking for Morgan on the wall ball. And in the process of swinging his foot to kick it, he got a good piece of the shin, Brian, of Luis Medrano.
I'm trying to figure out what happened there. Ball came off the boards. It was a good opportunity for Tavoy to try to get his foot on the ball and get him up 2-1. I didn't really look like a direct contact, but it's hard to see from this angle. But fouls will stack up, so Tavoy's got to be smart, even though it's only his first.
Diego Reynoso and Boris Pardo, two veteran goalkeepers, two of the top winning goalkeepers in the playoffs in the history of the MASL. Pardo, 21 career playoff wins. Reynoso, 26 career playoff wins. However, for Chihuahua, they play a strict goalkeeper rotation. Reynoso, the 36-year-old veteran out of Mexico City, will play the first half. But expect the 24-year-old Christian Hernandez to play the second half and any overtime if needed. They've done it all year, and they did it in both playoff games as well.
Yeah, as a goalkeeper, I guess if you know that those are your 2 quarters, you have a specific job to do. You set yourself up. Reynoso takes care of the first half, passes it off.
Here's Romero with a burst down the wall. He beat 2 different stalkers and then a corkscrewing touch off of his toe. Just gave it away to San Diego. All that hard work, and then it frittered. 11 and a half minutes left in an already extremely eventful first quarter. Pressure shown and a steal taken by the Savage in the attacking area. It's Miguel Angel Diaz. Did a great job to dig that ball out. And now the Savage will look to possess. Jaime Alejandro Romero on the ball. And there's the captain of the club, Roberto Escalante. Escalante, 21 points in the regular season. The 37-year-old Sonoran out of Empalme. He's played on a Mexican team every year a Mexican team has been available to play in the MASL. 9th season. Morgan gets the steal. He and Leo working along the left wall. Now outlet. Reynoso is out there to play it and very calmly sends it to the middle of the floor, where Mitchell Cardenas will punt it back in the direction of the Savage net. It will trickle off of the top netting and give me a chance to remind you that the Ron Newman Cup finals are presented by Verizon. New and existing customers can get a new iPhone 16 on us only from Verizon. Lock in your price for your phone and internet plan for 3 years. Go to Verizon.com. Thank you, Verizon, for supporting and presenting the Ron Newman Cup playoffs for 2025. The 2024 champs, they're on the floor. Chihuahua, they defeated Kansas City last year in 2 games in the Ron Newman Cup Finals, finishing it off at Corner Sport Arena in Chihuahua. The year before that, the champion was the Savage, beating the Baltimore Blast in the championship round. Again in 2 games, again finishing in Mexico. Morales moving in for San Diego. Draws a double team. The futsal star tried to spin out of it, then reached in and is called for a foul.
Not sure that was a foul, but again, who knows what I can see from up here. I think you asked Morales, his foot was on the ball.
I know he was reaching in. So sometimes it's just the intent that gets whistled more than the technicality. Moy Gonzalez, another longtime veteran out of Brownsville, Texas. Brought that one down for Chihuahua, but gave it away. Charlie Gonzalez. Charlie, leading scorer in the regular season. Been held in 2 games to 2 points, 1 goal, 1 assist. Flaco Macias, the tall, skinny midfielder of Chihuahua, number 33. He had his run and laid it off. And the Savage will look to change some personnel and adjust. If you're new to the indoor game, it's 5 field players and a keeper per side. And live transitions are allowed. You never have more than the 6 players on the floor at the same time. Mendez cuts a pass that Reynoso reads and redirects to midfield. Popper, who is credited with that goal that deflected off Gonzalez's back for the tie. Happy to bring it down and control. Chihuahua enjoying a run of possession here after getting their feet back under them, under first-year head coach, but a very familiar face, Edgar Chebo Martinez. Chebo was a part of the Sockers staff for multiple years. He'd be the guy who came in and ran morning practices, conditioning drills, and the like. This is his first chance to be an MASL head coach, and he's been terrific. Just a rather comical giveaway there by Chihuahua in the corner as Valle swung and missed.
Yeah, this turf here in San Diego, or Frontwave, is a little bit different than it is down in Corner Sports Arena, and a little slower. I think it caught him off guard, got stuck under his feet. But they did have the benefit of having a couple extra games played here last weekend, so I think that they'd kind of shaken that off a little bit.
When you say the turf is a little different, what you mean is it's a lot different. This one is slow, plushy. Corner Sport is basically a thin carpet over concrete. So the ball will trampoline when it bounces. Whereas here, as you can see, it's very calm on the floor as it rolls through the carpeted rustlings. Costa and Gontan combining on possession on the north wall. A quick whistle and a quick foul as Costa was brought to his knees along the wall. We're inside of 8 minutes in the first quarter, so next ball out of play, whether it's a ball that goes out of bounds or a goal, card, those things would lead us to the official's timeout. Anything else we play on. Castaneda looking for a counterattack with Lopez. Jose Gilberto Lopez stepping out, back to Castaneda, just wide. He scored the golden goal to send the Savage into the finals, beating Milwaukee. Now Pee-wee kept his possession alive. Curves a pass for Costa. Costa shoots to the back post. Wide, nobody home. Serra pinching in, the defender trying to keep the attack alive. So is Pee-wee, and he rakes the ball loose for San Diego. And then anticipates a run that was not there and gave away possession back to the champs. Pardo attempting a quick redistribution. Miguel Angel Diaz able to work it out of the back through the Tijuanense Jorge Leal. And there's Jorge Rios. Rios, a very opportunistic player. He's not a ball-dominant midfielder, not somebody you see always on the ball, but he's somebody who makes his runs to get in the right place to score. Now here's Flaco. And this one bounds over the short wall and out of play and brings us to our first timeout. 2 goals right away. And since they've settled in, it's 1-1 in game 1 of the finals. Sockers and Savage, and we're back with more next on Golazo. It's the Major Arena Soccer League's best rivalry, the Sockers and the Savage. Rivalries are built in the playoffs, and this is the 4th straight meeting in the playoffs for San Diego and Chihuahua. Back in 2021-22, it went the distance. The Sockers winning 2-1. The Savage won it 2-1 in 22-23 and in 23-24. Each time it's been Chihuahua winning their home game in Game 1, San Diego winning their home game in Game 2. Coming down to the 15-minute knockout game, San Diego won it once, Chihuahua's won it twice. One-handed save by Pardo keeps this one at 1-1 as he pushes it over the frame. Great save.
Boris is always in the right position. That one, he makes it look routine, but that was definitely sneaking in the top.
Flacco has the corner kick. Escalante looked open, now to the top. Rios juggled it between his feet. Couldn't get a shot away when he had the space. Sockers pounce on this loose ball, but then leave it to the middle. Savage had a touch on it for a moment. Cesar Cerda, who was just named as one of the 3 finalists for Defender of the Year, trying to keep possession. It's shot across parallel to the goal mouth. And now it's back to Chihuahua's feet. 5:19 left in the first quarter. So the one difference between this year and the previous 3 is who has home field advantage. This time it's Chihuahua that will know the series will be decided on their home floor. However, they have had no problem coming to San Diego and taking that knockout game each of the last 2 years. So San Diego knows what the strategy should be. If you can win this opening game, there's so much pressure, Brian, next week on the home team because they don't have to win once. They got to win twice.
Yeah, I've been in that position before, and it's a tough position to be in when you have to win your first game, then you got to mentally prepare and win another game. So if San Diego can put the pressure on Chihuahua a little bit with the victory here tonight, forcing that to happen, it's the best way for San Diego to have an opportunity to win because winning twice in Chihuahua is no easy feat.
And as a mistake by sturdy defender Mitchell Cardenas there puts the ball out of play and gives it back to Chihuahua. That's exactly what the Savage done the last 3 years. Put the pressure on San Diego by taking care of the home game in Game 1. So the roles are reversed, but the needs are exactly the same.
Yeah, that's the important part of the regular season is to try to fight in every one of those 24 matches to try to be in the position to host that second leg of the championship series if you get there.
Well, a series of juggling exercises winds up scattering out of bounds, and the Sockers change personnel and come at it in a 1-1 tie. Tavoy Morgan scored on a header at 53 seconds. Carlos Hernandez got a lucky break off the back of Charlie Gonzalez for an own goal to tie it at 1-1 at 1:12. And that's where we are with 11 minutes elapsed now in this contest. Cardenas could not control along the right wall. A little bit of pressure shown by San Diego, forcing Reynoso into a quick kick to the middle. And the big 6'2" defender out of Texas, Christian Quintana, able to knock it back. Romero through to Reynoso. Here comes that pressure again. Morgan trying for the steal. It's back to Quintana's chest. Sockers change personnel, at least on one midfield spot. And now they'll change others as they rotate it back through defensive midfield. Huge part of the strategy of possession in this game is to be able to have you change players and keep tired players on the floor for the other team. A steal by Romero. Now Costa is able to win it back. However, that distance was enough to allow Chihuahua to change several of their men on the floor. Back the other way in a 1-1 tie. 3 minutes left in the first quarter of Game 1. Next Sunday here on Galazo, Easter Sunday, Game 2, and if needed, that knockout game immediately to follow. The one thing we know is it'll be a cup hoisted on Easter Sunday. Pee Wee getting into it with Cesar Ruiz of the Savage.
I think Pee Wee was through on that. He was a little frustrated that he got held. He's still a little upset about it because he probably would have been in for an opportunity, but it was a smart play to slow him down and push him against the boards, take the foul.
Giles Trying to feed in Morales. Ball's going to come all the way to the keeper in his crease. That's Diego Reynoso. The left-hander wings one out. Ruggles is able to clean out Lopez and get the ball for the moment. Now Diaz brings it down for Chihuahua. Los Bicampeones.
You can see from the possession stints that the Sockers are okay dropping a little bit further off than Chihuahua is right now. Chihuahua's going forward, a little bit more pressure on the keeper, on the defense, trying to step up into the final end. But San Diego's dropping off to midfield.
Here was a steal by Diaz, who was 3v3 down low, and he lost it along the yellow line. Now Sockers are pressing on their way to the bench, forcing Reynoso into another long touch, which he'll send into the corner. 2 minutes left in this first quarter. 1-1 tie. Castaneda, nice step around on Morales. Leaves it for the middle! Diaz shot it wide. Rebound off the crossbar! Moy Gonzalez had the lead on his toe. Couldn't keep it down. Wide open. Castaneda! Porto is better with a huge save. And another! Under assault, the Sockers goal. And Boris has it all. Huge cheer for Pardo after a huge sequence on defense.
Two massive saves from Boris to keep the ball out of the back of the net. Sometimes those are the moments that you actually need, though, so Boris can continue to have that kind of feeling for the rest of the night. Not that you want it, because that's a risky situation, but I've seen Boris do that year after year, and
Morgan.
It helps.
Morgan pushing through, hoping for a call. It's not there. That'll be a three-line pass and a restart for San Diego at the yellow line. Meanwhile, Farbs, might this be the biggest crowd of the year? As we watch Morgan truck his way through the middle. Oh, let's take a look at the big saves. Here we go.
Got through in the middle. Boris cut the angle quickly, then off the crossbar, but that wasn't the worst of it.
Yeah, here comes the
ball
saves.
Comes back through the middle. Wide open, point-blank save. Boris gets back up, and then another one at the top to flick it to the back post. Boris is he's in a league of his own sometimes, and those two saves were huge.
Meanwhile, Tavoy Morgan staying down after that foul. Athletic trainer Paul Savage is out to take a look at him. One of the rules of the league is because he's being seen by a trainer on the floor, Morgan is going to have to be on the bench for the next 2 minutes. And it looks like they are looking at the shoulder collarbone area for Morgan. You might remember earlier he was favoring his left shoulder. Let's watch this again. Maybe landed on that shoulder, Brian.
Yeah, it looks like how he just went down. Maybe a little bit of clip or trip from behind as he got through, but it was really more the impact of the ground maybe as he got through that is bothering him. It's the same shoulder I think he was holding earlier in the corner, so maybe there's something there.
Yeah, that's what's got me a little bit worried, is because in the very opening sequence of the night, which led to the free kick, which led to Tavoy's goal, he came up favoring his left shoulder because he got it tangled with defender Roberto Escalante as they went to the ground. Now Morgan is going to be helped to the bench. And it looks like, Brian, and this is not good news if you're a San Diego fan or a fan of the MASL, that Tavoy is going to go straight to the locker room and not to the bench.
Yeah, I think that was Savage's decision. I don't know if it was just to get him off the floor faster, closer door.
Childs on the restart now. Shot blocked by Macias. Luis Morales had the attempt. Macias was right there on his toe. Charlie tries for a steal and doesn't get it, and it's back the other way. It's Castaneda. His shot is wide. Comes into the corner. Gonzalez had it taken away again. It's up in the air and loose at the crease. Charlie Gonzalez brings it down with 42 seconds left in the first quarter. Our first of 4 magic minutes here. Final minute of each quarter where things can change suddenly. 1-1 tie. Can the Sockers find some of that old Sockers magic for a late goal? Childs trying to send in Leo. 30 seconds left. Leo doing battle in the corner. Well defended there by Chihuahua. Leal to Escalante, and there's under 20 to play in the frame. Reynoso. Quintana pinches Hugo Puentes along the wall. Now it's spit out. It's Leo. 8 seconds. Leo, take a rip. He hits the right post. Great chance for Leo. But 1-1 is where this quarter is going to wind up. San Diego struck early. Chihuahua was given a gift back and unwrapped it with joy, and we are tied at 1. But second quarter run from Frontwave Arena. The Ron Newman Cup Finals, presented by Verizon after this.
I'm really big into committing to things. I usually stop binging the show halfway through the first episode. I mean, remember when my hair was blonde for like 2 seconds? But when Verizon announced that I could lock in a low price for 3 years for both phone and internet, even if I'm already a customer, I was like, duh. I think 3 years in the future, Pete will be very proud of my decision. Look at me grow. Come on! Can you hear me now? I sure hope so.
Michael winner here at Frontwave Arena. Sean, you ready? You ready? Yes, sir. What's at stake? A brand new air conditioning replacement unit for your casa. It's time to cool off for the summer, Sean. Here we go, Sockers Nation. Help Sean out! Just a bit outside. I would say it's a valiant effort, but that would be a lie. Sean, you still had fun. You're going home with the San Diego Sockers prize pack. Thanks for playing the Action Air Conditioning, Heating, and Solar Not So Hot Challenge. Go Sockers! All right, San Diego Sockers family, it's time to get on your feet and make a little noise. It's time for the Junkyard Sports Bar and Grill T-shirt toss!
Whether it's in Chihuahua or San Diego, the story for these two clubs has been home sweet home. Welcome back to the Ron Newman Cup Finals, everybody. San Diego Sockers in their new digs here at Frontwave Arena. Perfect. 12-0 regular season, 2-0 in the playoffs. Chihuahua at home, 12-0 in the playoffs. They've won 18 straight overall, counting regular season and playoffs, and against American teams. Any team not named Monterey. They've won 32 in a row at Corner Sport Arena. Now here in San Diego, all-time playoffs and regular season, San Diego 9-4 against Chihuahua. So they've had certainly more success, but nothing like what Chihuahua has done. And especially when you really look at it, this is the fourth-year franchise, Brian Farber, the Chihuahua Savage. Those first 2 years, they were just figuring themselves out. They actually lost like their first 6 games at home. Their first, I think it was 5 games at home, their first season. But once they figured out their little tiny field and all of the adjustments and all of the advantages that they have down there, boy, they have been unbeatable since downstairs.
Yeah, that's a tough place to play from a player standpoint. Atmosphere, the fans, the field, it's different to get used to. The bounces, the glass, and it's their home field. They play in it and train in it regularly, so big advantage.
Huge advantage, which means this game 1 for San Diego might as well be games 1, 2, and 3 all wrapped up in a bow. They don't get to win the cup if they win tonight, but if they don't win tonight, hooey, it's Savage feeling really good next Sunday. Either way, we'll have it for you here on Galazzo. Leo coming forward. Sockers' goal came in the first minute of the first quarter, so we'll see. They've got a few seconds left if they want to try and put something together. The captain, Craig Childs, is out on the floor now. The Powegian tries to play one off the... Now his Cardenas played in by Costa. He shoots, save made by Reynoso. The defender, Mitchell Cardenas, found himself wide open. And then a 2-car pileup in the corner. And both Fuentes and Cardenas appear to be the worst for it.
We're going to see the replay of that one. Happened kind of quick. Looked like Mitchell maybe got his feet taken out, but maybe on his way down, hit his knee. He got hit in the face.
Nose. Let's take a look.
Let's watch.
Oh yeah, he got kicked in the face.
He got kicked in the face, and he put a knee in the back of his head on the ground as well. So it's a tough for both of them. Mitchell's up, though.
Say, ow. Yeah, he's checking his teeth and his jawline. Make sure everything's in place. However, for Puentes, who is the club's leading scorer in the playoffs and their top target forward, anything beyond short-term discomfort is a major storyline in this match, Brian. They don't really have another forward who does what Hugo Puentes does.
Well, Puentes is he's a tough character, so I'm anticipating this is just hurting him a little bit, but he'll probably be back up. As long as there's no concussion or anything like that, I think he'll be fine. He's not going to be held off the field unless it's like a serious situation.
Aaron Rivera is the athletic trainer of the Chihuahua Savage. And he's got Puentes up to a seated position now. He's been looking at the head and neck area of Hugo Puentes. And just in case anyone misinterpreted, when we said that Puentes kicked Cardenas in the face, it's both true and also certainly not intentional in any way. Imagine falling and pretending you could control your limbs. Taking another look here.
The slide tackle comes back. Yeah, that's...
I mean, yeah, Mitchell's body weight pretty much came down on the head-neck area of Puentes.
But as Puentes' feet were coming up, Mitchell's head was coming down, and they made contact with each other in both ways. But he's on his feet now. It looks like he's all right. Are they trying to tell him to go to the box?
Meanwhile, I am happy to report that Tavoy Morgan is returning to the floor for San Diego. He has just come back from the tunnel, and he is back at the Sockers bench while Puentes holding that left side of his face. Let's see whether they go to the bench or to the tunnel area. It looks like they're going to go back to the bench for Puentes, and I think that's probably good news as well.
So is it a drop ball? I don't believe it's the Sockers ball. It looks like it should be Chihuahua's ball based on how he's standing.
Chihuahua standing over that official game ball, presented by Miter, official game ball supplier of the Major Arena Soccer League, established in 1817. Miter, one of the leading soccer brands worldwide, producing some of the best soccer balls in the world. Learn more at Miter, MITRE.com. We're back underway. Minute and change into the second quarter, one goal aside. Both those goals scored in the first minute 12 of this affair. Normally you see really tight defense. It didn't happen early, but it's happened since. So more like the championship fight where both guys get one good lick in early and then they start dancing. Here's Christian Gutierrez.
Yeah, without those early goals, you would have thought the first 5-10 minutes would have been filling each other out, who strikes first, but those happened so quickly that it kind of forced that goal.
Morgan's left-footed shot blocked by Popper comes to Pee Wee in the corner. His pass out was blocked back by Ruiz. And now the Savage have it for a moment. Charlie trying to jump on a steal. In doing so, he fouled a player. And we'll head to the bench. Gonzalez not feeling it right now. You've mentioned how he's such an emotional player in the past, Brian, a player that can get hot and be sizzling hot. Right now, Charlie, I think, still feeling that ball off his back early on. He wants to make up for it. And as you know, you can't do it all at once.
No, you definitely can't do it all at once. And I think for Charlie, he's just putting pressure on himself to continue to perform at the level he has throughout the season. And the hard part is when you get in these moments in the playoffs or the finals, you want that same feeling. You want to continue to contribute like you have been. And sometimes when it's just not going your way, you try to force things a little bit. But I think Charlie's going to be just fine. Just give him another quarter.
Huge crowd here at Frontwave Arena. I truly think they're going to wind up with their biggest crowd of the year in their last game of the year, and that's what you want to see in the finals. Slower bowl seats about 4,500. Childs cuts one to the middle. Keiko Gontan was hoping to run onto it, but Reynoso is always a very calm, controlled player. It's one thing that stands out about Diego Reynoso. It's why he's won 26 games in the playoffs. Cool under pressure. This one lifted to Romero. Mini 2v1 developing, save! There was the rebound chance. Bicycle try, and he falls on his back, but it was a valiant effort by Lopez. And then the foul is going to end the Savage run. Boy, that was a dynamite attempt by Chihuahua and a great opportunity.
Yeah, throwing some bikes in the box is always one of the things that I enjoyed doing. So if he would have put that away, you would have had to give him a nice round of applause, but didn't connect.
Ruggles bends it with the left foot. Power header again. From one head to the next, comes to the foot of Morgan. Morgan cuts a pass across, easily read and stolen by the champion Savage. Now with a nice little move, it's Romero coming forward. Jaime Alejandro Romero. Now this loose ball. Luis Morales jumps on it. Luis Morales scores! It's pretty. ¡Qué golazo! Luis Morales. 2-1 San Diego. That was silky, sexy soccer.
After the ball off the boards, Morales reacted to it quicker. Was able to get it on his foot, do a couple soul, get Reynoso on the ground, and then the little toe poke lift to the top is kind of nasty. Extra little detail he didn't need to do, but hey, that is a golazo.
Yeah, if you want to know on the Golazo Network, there it is. Why are we on Golazo? Because of that right there. Third goal of the year, of the playoffs, I should say, for Luis Morales. Unassisted. The assistance was the touch of God on that little lift over the keeper at 3:34.
The ball off the glass was, or the top of the board was a perfect reaction. He saw it all the way, and he just reacted so quickly. He was on it.
Brilliant work by the young man. This is a mistake for Chihuahua. Again, if you're new to the game, you cannot pass the ball out of bounds from your defensive zone. No chance to be a sweeper keeper over here. That's top of the arc. Defensive clearance is what's that called. And it means the Sockers get the game's most dangerous free kick. It can be a direct kick. Childs, indirect to Charlie. Gonzalez gets taken down. And that will be a foul called on Macias. And it'll be a delay called on Puentes.
The delay call on Puentes has got him frustrated. I don't think he wasn't trying to delay. But those will cost you too, add up. So now different play, set piece, different setup. Charlie's on the ball, Craig's to the left, Costa to the right.
Morales down low. Leo in the middle. Straight on and a save. Rebound! Second save. Third try skipped off the glass. Looking for Leo was Childs. It'll bound back to Reynoso. Quality goalkeeping by the veteran from La Ciudad de Mexico. Puentes couldn't get turned around on that one. He's asking for a deflection, and he's not going to get the call. It's San Diego's ball. Again, we congratulate the man in red on the ball there, the referee, Rich Grady, winner of the Gino DiPolito Award for Top Official 2024-25. Congrats, Rich Grady. Brian had a lot of good conversations with Rich last weekend for the quarters and semifinals. Interesting stuff up here in the booth as he was next to Ryan Sigich, the head of officials for VAR. Cardenas. This one deflected by Leo, and Reynoso, I think he comes to Pilates, body control right there. Turned himself into a right parenthesis to keep from handling the ball out. Now here's Christian. Gutierrez jumping on a steal off the bench. Gutierrez trying to cut a pass to his teammate Mendez. Escalante read it all the way. The all-star Roberto Escalante. 2-1 San Diego. Next goal is of interest, so I would say. Next goal is interesting. It'll really redefine this match, +2 or even. Mendez lost it. Up in the air, ball spinning by the penalty boxes. Cesar Cerda says, let me see if I can hit the roof with this one. Just missed. Now he will kick it into his bench. And a lot of fun in the last 10 seconds. 9:57 to go. We are 20 minutes deep into this match, 1/3 of the way through. 2-1 San Diego. Long shot outside by Rios, trying to get himself into the match. And it skipped out of play.
You can see Cerdes trying to dictate a little bit of movement out of the back. He was trying to find Childs a few seconds ago. They just trying to keep
Here's
possession.
an open ball. Costa found Ruggles. Drew Ruggles! sent in perfectly by Costa. Ruggles finishes it off with a lethal left. 3-1 Sockers.
So Drew started in the back, made a run all the way up the field, was able to get it on the right side, and his composure in front of the net from a defensive player is very, very cool, calm, and collected, much like his personality, and he was able to hit it off the bottom side of the crossbar and sneak it past Reynoso for a 3-1 lead.
Drew Ruggles has been a champion before with Milwaukee, 2018, 2019. He was known for big plays, big goals. And right there, big time work, settling Costa's pass and converting it into a goal. 2 assists for Costa early, and a 3-1 Sockers lead. That goal at 5:14.
This shift's actually really important for San Diego because after they got the lead early on before, they gave it up right away. On the second goal, when they extended the lead, you could see they were really locked in.
Moy Gonzalez had his chance, knocked off the ball, and then could this be a second delay call? Costa or Pardo is asking for because there was a shot after the whistle.
Listen, Fuentes should not have been, and that definitely should have been, in my opinion. So it's even.
Fair enough. Morgan says he got hit above the shoulders. If true, it's a blue card. Grady said, get on up, Tavoy. You got the whistle. Please enjoy this free kick. Now Morgan can turn to his left foot, and it's cleared out. He does not become defensive clearance. Short hops the wall before going out. Miguel Angel Diaz catches a bit of a break right there. Morgan was trying to turn for a left-footed bomb. He can shoot with them both equally. Cardenas now. Defender crashing in out of position in an attacking spot. Charlie Gonzalez, top playmaking midfielder. Stepping on the ball as he's so good at. Spinning it back and controlling, feeding the middle, looking for Tavoy. Tavoy couldn't get it off under heavy pressure. Shot that one wide. Morales trying to stride in on a steal. Now we've got a blue card on Quintana for boarding Moy Gonzalez right in front of the penalty box that he's about to go sit in. And here's a power play coming up, Brian, for the Chihuahua Savage.
Yeah, I have a bad angle here. He had a much better angle if that was really boarding or not. I mean,
San Diego, 71, 2 minutes boarding.
In the box, but I think it's not a bad idea to challenge this. If they have a better angle, you might see that that was a bit soft.
Well, usually it's a matter of, are you outside of that white line? Okay, I think it was, that's right on the edge to me.
Yeah, he made contact above the waist, pushed him towards the boards.
I think it would be hard to overturn, let me put it that way. Because the feet are outside that white line, which isn't determinative, but it's one of the things an official looks for in terms of boarding. And secondly, it was arms extended and it was contact above the waist.
Well, that was the fastest review I've ever seen. Didn't see him review it.
I don't think they did.
Well, I thought there was a challenge. It looked, somebody said a challenge over there. Much better.
No, there was no challenge. They have to officially announce that. Okay, so at 8:41 remaining in the second quarter, this power play begins for Chihuahua. It'll count down on that clock to either 6:41 or to a Chihuahua goal, which could get them right back into it, trailing 3-1. Savage, one of the better power plays in the MASL, ranked third in the year, 39% conversion, 12 out of 31. This is their first power play of the playoffs. San Diego was third best at killing penalties in the regular season, and they're 1 for 1 in the playoffs so far. They've killed at a 76% rate. Minute 25 left on this penalty to Christian Quintana for boarding.
Chihuahua would love to get a second goal right here.
Shot wide. Puentes brings it down. Hugo Puentes, shot blocked by Cerda. Comes off the low wall. Hernandez keeps it alive to Rios. Rios charged by Cerda. He has to get back in position. Minute 5 left in the penalty kill. Puentes is lurking on the wall. Here's Hernandez. Escalante is out there, so is Rios. And the final man is Lopez. Pee-wee with Cerda, Gutierrez, and Cardenas, the no-goal patrol for San Diego. 48 seconds left on the kill. Escalante, left-footed shooter. Staggering touch by Lopez, but he keeps the ball in Savage possession. Escalante has Puentes in the middle, can't get it to him. Lopez in the corner, back to Escalante, probing the perimeter. It's over to Popper. He's got a good shot from outside if he can get it away. Escalante again with the left foot. Popper right-footed. Now stepping in is Rios. His shot partially deflected, comes down. Puentes keeps it alive. 23 seconds left on the kill. It's back out to Popper. Popper lines up a bomber, and it's high off of the frame. Knocked down off the head of Pee-wee and lifted out by Cerda along the low wall and out of play. 14 seconds left to kill. We'll take a timeout. And when we come back, Chihuahua's got 14 seconds left of man advantage. 3-1, San Diego leads the Ron Newman Cup Finals presented by Verizon. You want to know the beautiful features of Chihuahua, just check out the rivers and bridges. Well, I'm talking about Rios y Puentes. Un poco divertido. Jorge Rios, 52 points. Hugo Puentes, 43 points. Those two combining for over 30% of the goals. As this ball is shot and saved off of the shoulder of Gutierrez. Tried to clear it out. Still in play. Power play is over. Quintana is out, and we're back to full and even strength. Here's Escalante waiting for one that took a funny hop off the wall and stayed down. Escalante will feather it back out. Some of those power play players are still on the floor. Long shot, just wide by Ramiro. Long rebound. It's his breakaway chance. It's Christian Gutierrez. Gutierrez turns to his right foot and then just sent it the wrong way, thinking that his teammate was at a different spot on the floor. And that was something that turned into nothing. Now Gutierrez scuffs a pass. Costa's trying to dig it out. Along the wall, Arturo Valle interfered with by Gontan, who steals. Keiko Gontan. Gontan with a step over. Sends it over to Costa. Reynoso comes charging out! Costa couldn't fit it through. Then Ruggles shoots and a save made. Then Costa shoots and a save made. Reynoso! Hand and foot. He's doing it all.
Reynoso just tried to match what Boris did in the first quarter. 2 saves. Great foot save there at the end. Costa got a piece of that one, and it was probably going in from this angle. It's hard to tell, but saved it off the line, it looked like.
Corner kick upcoming. Not a literal corner. It's not on the corner dot, but from the corner. Charlie's lift. Leo's header. Morgan! What a save! Reynoso! Primero! Y segundo y tercero!
Another big save.
3 great saves.
Point blank. Leo got that ball across to Tavoy.
Over the back of Tavoy. Foul called on Valle right there. Take a look at this.
So it's fed over to the top. Leo gets it back across the top to Tavoy, who gets a toe on it. But he just put it towards the middle. It's a good save.
What a save. Now you can have your feet inside the goal, just as long as the ball's not. 5:24 left in the second quarter. Sockers looking for a free kick from offensive midfield. Cardenas will play it across to the former MASL passmaster, Leo. Costa's the passmaster tonight with 2 assists, but that pass was intercepted by Flacco. Counterattack was on to Voigt. It will get carded, and this is a proper card to be sure. Blue card against Tavoy Morgan, whose flying tackle denied a counterattack opportunity for Chihuahua.
Yeah, that was definitely a blue card on Tavoy. I think he just got there a little bit later than he wanted. He wasn't, I don't think he was trying to go for body, but when you arrive that late and make contact, you're going to get the blue card. However, the play should have been a delayed blue because the ball got through and he was in one-on-one with Boris, but
2 minutes
they
tripping
called it
on
early.
San Diego. Power play.
What? Simple 2-minute tripping call on Morgan. So a second power play now for the Chihuahua Savage. This power play begins with 5:13 left in the half. It'll count either to 3:13 remaining or to a Savage goal, which again could cut this 2-goal lead for San Diego down to 1.
Something to watch here that happened on the first power play was Chihuahua was happy to keep the ball on the top, moving around the perimeter, work the Sockers down until they could get into the crease. And eventually, 4 players get tired. You have no choice but to kind of drop in and cut angles.
Lopez shoots it off of the angle wide. Out to Popper. Escalante slides it down low. Lopez, and a lovely sliding kick save by Pardo, who pins it to the wall. The King of Queens airs out his distribution. Boris Pardo playing fantastic as usual. The 41-year young goalkeeper of the Sockers wants to win a 3rd Ron Newman Cup in San Diego. Escalante, minute 8 on the man advantage. Tripping on Tavoy Morgan, the blue card penalty. Back to Popper, front and center, top of the umbrella. Rios, down low, Puentes. This shot is high. Great angle, no finish by Lopez. This one blocked by Cardenas on the center attempt by Puentes. And Cerda gets it out to Pee-wee shorthanded. Sockers counterattacking, a man down. Pee-wee slowed things up and got knocked out of the play. 42 seconds remain on the kill for San Diego. Escalante dragging in offensive midfield out to Popper. Now to the left wall, it's Rios. Rios, the likely MASL MVP. Can he be heard from here? Escalante out to Popper. Now it's Rios. His shot is high into the night. And a giveaway back for a goalie distribution.
That was great pressure from Cerda to quickly get out there and put pressure on the top of the perimeter, putting that quick pressure on him made him put the ball into the net. He probably would have had a better chance to put it on frame, but that gives the guys a few seconds to catch their breath.
And Pardo went for the slow ball throw there for an extra 2 seconds. 15 seconds left to kill. And Chihuahua needs to quickly get to the offensive zone. Rios will do that with 10 seconds remaining.
Got Sebastian on top now. Pee-wee caught a breather. It's a little bit different. He doesn't play on the top of the diamond very often.
1 second. Time for Morgan to jump out of the box. Here he comes. And as soon as he returns, we're back to even strength. Sockers have killed 2 power plays in this second quarter with a 2-goal lead. Escalante moving past Morgan. Not a defender by trade. He's just stuck out there on the floor right now. It's Popper. They will continue to probe with this offensive group. Shot wide. Great try there by Rios on his way out. Counterattack is on. Morgan with Mendez. Morgan feeds Mendez. Sebastian Mendez goes wide, shoots it off the wall. Morgan can't find the rebound. Great try on the counterattack. Everything but the last bit. Now back the other way they go. Castañeda. Castañeda tries to go through the legs of Cerda. Crashes into the corner. Keiko Gontan joins him there. Picked up by Gonzalez. Moy Gonzalez wards off his defender. A big boy. He goes down, no whistle. We'll play on with 2:18 left in the first half. Castañeda working on Mendez. In the corner, pushes him down, foul call. Coming up on our Verizon Ron Newman Cup Finals halftime show, my conversation recorded earlier this afternoon up in the Pala Casino Starlight Club with Soccer's owner and head coach, Phil Salvaggio. We'll also have the MASL in 5 with our dear friend and favorite Canadian, Alex Pastervansky. All of that coming up at the half. Then we'll get you the highlights, the stats, and the scores. And of course, Phil will chat live with Melissa May at the end of this quarter.
Alex is your favorite Canadian?
I think today, yeah. I mean, just today, you know. I love lots of Canadians. Love all the Canadians. Shout out Canada.
I was going Ian Bennett on that one.
I mean, that's fair.
Sorry, Alex.
Morgan. You know, if Ian Bennett, this is a foul on Chihuahua. If Ian Bennett was here, I would say Ian, number one. But right now, Alex has my eye.
Gotcha.
Pride of British Columbia, Alex Pastravansky.
For me, it's wherever Ian is. It's all good.
That's fair. he's an Ontarian from Hamilton, Ian Bennett. All right, minute 53. This is an important moment for Chihuahua, to be sure. Blocked off the shot by Costa. Ball side spins over the low wall, and it'll be back to San Diego with under 2 minutes to go. Just from San Diego's perspective, 4-1 would be great, but the key is not to give up a second goal in this half. Keep Chihuahua down 2. They're fighting for the ball. Falling is Charlie, drawing another foul. Here comes another set piece for San Diego.
I think Grady's just trying to get control of the extra grabbing and touching. There's been some over here. There's been some over here, but that was a little soft.
Charlie will stand over the free kick. Costa is available to run on it if you want it. Childs up high, always an option. It's been quiet so far tonight, but the captain is surveying the scene, looking for the open spot. Charlie tried to push it through the middle, probably the most ambitious opportunity. Costa tries to slide tackle the ball. It's sent forward. This is now into Pardo. Uses the angle perfectly to keep it away. Costa draws a foul on Moy Gonzalez. And both sides thought the foul was called their way. But it's going to go to San Diego, and now Chihuahua realizes it, and they have an earful for Rich Grady right there.
Yeah, I think Grady got that one right. I think Costa was trying to use his body. He got in the right positioning, just like he did a couple weeks ago here, and got the foul.
Quintana restarts to Leo. 80 seconds left in this first half. Diaz picks off an errant pass, sends in Puentes. Puentes fresh off the bench. Hugo Puentes fires, punch save, rebound, lifted in the air, and Leo got into Diaz there to deny. Quintana up in the air, huge intervention. Now it's still up. Pardo grabs it. Magic minute, second quarter. Minute 30 is live from Frontwave Arena. 3-1 San Diego. Luis Morales was hoping to get one from Leo, and it hopped over the low wall. 55 seconds for Chihuahua to get it back. Diaz. Romero probing, looking for a pass down low, looking for Puentes. And with the punch, Pardo able to keep it away from Hugo Puentes. Cerda is able to spin it down the north wall. 36 seconds remain. Reynoso is going to come into the play. Over to Diaz. Diaz holding on the Frontwave Credit Union logo. Over to left wing and Romero. Jaime Alejandro Romero. Running into the middle is Pumper. The ball is played outside to Escalante. There's 21 seconds. Escalante's shot is wide. Pardo had the post covered. Shot was wide. Leo brought down from behind by the arm of Diaz, and the foul is called.
That's another close shot from Escalante, not far wide, but angles recovered by Boris.
9 seconds. Can Morgan find something out of nothing? He's going to fire it off the wall. Leo can't jump on it. It parachutes toward the goal mouth where Reynoso scoops it up, and that's how the first half comes to an end. A big quarter for San Diego. The second quarter, 2-0 for the Sockers. Luis Morales with the do-it-yourself steal, dribble, and flick at 3:34, and then Costa, perfect pass, inch perfect to send in Drew Ruggles for his shot off the crossbar down and in at 5:14. The only
Chihuahua number 77, 5-minute misconduct descent.
And a 2-goal lead for San Diego going to halftime. We are awaiting head coach Phil Salvaggio downstairs with Melissa May, but meanwhile, apparently a yellow card was shown at the very end of the half, potentially to Savage staff or coach for dissent. We'll figure that out later. Right now, here's Phil with Melissa.
Coach Salvaggio, how does it feel to be back in the Ron Newman Cup championship?
I don't feel anything right now. It's too much emotions.
This is the last game here at Frontwave for this season. Last game of the season, really, in the States. What was your message to your team today, just before the game?
You know what? What the message was not take it too well because we're not playing as good as we could be. We're making big mistakes and our emotions are getting the best of us. We got to taper down. We got fortunate there in the first quarter, first half.
Thank you, Coach. Craig Farber, back to you.
Thank you, Melissa. Appreciate it very much. 30 minutes done, 30 yet to be played in Game 1 of the Ron Newman Cup Finals presented by Verizon. It's the Sockers 3 and the Savage 1. When we come back, MASL in 5 and our conversation with Phil Salvaggio right here on the CBS Sports Golazo Network.
Shoot! He scores!
This is the MASL in 5. What's going on, folks? I'm Alex Bastiavansky. Great to see you again. I'm here to get you caught up on everything that's gone down in the league over the past few days, and I've only got 5 minutes to do it, so let's go.
Go, Frank Tayu, the king top shelf, where Grandma keeps the cookies, levels the game at 6.
The Ron Newman Cup playoffs kicked off last week in San Diego. Semifinal number 1 featured Milwaukee and 2-time defending champ Chihuahua. The Wave gave them everything they could handle. The squads went back and forth. They were tied 6-6. Forcing overtime.
And now back out the other way. Here come the Savage. Here's Castaneda down the left side. Castaneda shoots! And Castaneda sends Chihuahua into the Ron Newman Cup final.
Chihuahua just would not be denied. They advanced to play for their 3rd straight Ron Newman Cup title. Semifinal number 2 went later that night. Baltimore taking on host San Diego. No such drama in this contest. The Sockers proved to be too much for the Blast. Christian Gutierrez had a hat trick as the home side won 11-3 and advanced to face Chihuahua in the final. In the quarterfinals the day before, Baltimore had faced Utica City. Despite getting outshot in the contest 23-17, the Blast broke a 2-2 deadlock late in the first half. Victor Pereira was named the game's first star as the boys in red pulled away for the 6-2 win. St. Louis came into the playoffs red hot, but they were in tough against number 1 seed Chihuahua. Still, They were tied 1-1 with the Savage late into the fourth quarter before the Mexican side was able to finally put them away and advance with a 5-1 victory. But the 8th-seeded Ambush have nothing to hang their heads about as they nearly pulled off a massive shocker. An old-school rivalry in this quarterfinal between Milwaukee and KC. It was tied 5-5 until late in the third quarter when the Wave blew it open with 4 straight goals. Ian Bennett, 4 tallies on the day as Milwaukee ultimately took down the Comets by an 11-7 final score. Poor Empire had to face San Diego 5 times in the regular season. Couldn't manage a single win. Well, they would have to in their quarterfinal matchup to advance. Despite yet another goal from Marco Fabian, the Sockers proved to be just a bit too much as they notched their 6th win against the Strikers this season, taking the contest 4-2. So, who was hot in the quarters and semis? Well, let's start with the ageless wonder, Ian Bennett. IB26 led all scorers through 2 games. He had an insane 6 goals and 1 assist over that stretch. The King came through as well. Frank Taiyu was huge for the Wave. The late season acquisition had 2 goals and 3 assists for 5 points through 2 games. Good news for Chihuahua heading into the final. Hugo Puentes continues to be red hot. The MASL's 5th leading scorer this season was a big reason behind the Savage advancement to the championship. He had 3 goals plus a helper over 2 contests. And San Diego was pumped about the play of Gabriel Costa. He was the Sockers' leading scorer through the quarters and semis, racking up 3 goals and 2 assists for the Blue and Gold. And although Baltimore's season is now done, encouraging stuff from Kevon Frater as the MASL rookie looked more like a veteran, notching 1 goal plus 3 helpers for the Blast. And kudos to Paulo Nascimento of St. Louis, who probably had the goaltending performance of the playoffs for St. Louis. Despite their loss, Paulo made numerous massive stops for the Ambush in their quarterfinal contest. So here we go, a clash of the Titans, San Diego against Chihuahua. The top 2 teams from the regular season, with Chihuahua finishing 1st overall. Best of 3 series. There is the tale of the tape, just 2 points separating the squads in the standings, and things could not be much closer between the teams. They split their season series 2-2. The Sockers took the first game 6-4 back on January 5th. Chihuahua won the next encounter back at Corner Sport Arena 8-5 on February 14th. 2 days later, back at Frontwave, it was the Sockers emerging victorious 5-2. And then on March 14th in Mexico, the Savage blew them out 12-2. However, several Sockers could not travel for that game due to visa issues. Of course, the openers on Sunday in San Diego, Game 2, and if necessary, Game 3, were back in Chihuahua on Sunday, April 20th at 8:05 Eastern Time. The Savage, of course, are gunning for their 3rd straight title. The Sockers have got to find a way to win at the Fortress, which is Corner Sport. The Savage have not lost a home game since March 17th of 2024. And that is going to wrap things up for today, but just a reminder to stay up to date with everything that's going on in the league all throughout the season. Be sure to check out the MASL's official social media outlets. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.
Welcome back, everybody. Halftime at Game 1 of the Ron Newman Cup Finals, San Diego Sockers and Chihuahua Savage, and I am thrilled to be joined by the man who is the brain trust behind Frontwave Arena, which is behind us now, head coach of the San Diego Sockers for the last 16 seasons, Phil Salvaggio. He's gunning for his 7th championship this year and his 3rd in the MASL. You know, Phil, I remember, in fact, doing an interview with your partner, Josh, down when it was a mud pit, down in the basin about 3 years ago, and to be where we are today, seeing how many things have rolled through this arena over the course of just the last handful of months. I know it's been a whirlwind and a rush, but now when you look back and just kind of look out, is wow, how much you've accomplished.
Well, first of all, it's been fast 6 months, 7 months. We've had close to 70 events in here already. You know, and really this building is meant for the San Diego Sockers and our, you know, Clippers, and really it's come a long way, but I've got to give it to Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, for giving us this building and today's opportunity.
Well, the opportunity continues. You've had a perfect season so far at Frontwave Arena, 14-0. It's earned you the chance to be here in the grand final. You had to go.
You know this is pregame, because he's not really saying we just won.
No, 14-0 is what you got to get here. 12-0 in the regular season. Won the quarterfinal, won the semifinal. Now you have an opportunity today to cap off a perfect season here at Frontwave Arena. Fair to say that would be even beyond your expectations.
Oh yeah, you know, this building is special. It's all the way around. You know, when you built it, and some of the players actually physically built the building, worked in here. So to play in here, build the building, own the building, it's just every moment is that special.
This is the 4th straight season the Sockers and the Savage are meeting with the championship on the line. The team that's won this series has won the championship each of the last 3 years, and we know it'll be 4 years because this is the finals, and you're meeting in the finals for the first time. In a sense, I feel like you guys have been two stalking horses all year long, looking at one another, racing down the course together. Now that collision course is reached, and you're playing the Savage. In some ways, was this something you expected all along?
Not expected. You know, this league could go any way. If the ball bounces your way, you're in first. If the ball doesn't bounce your way, you're in 8th, you know. So really, really tough league, a well-balanced league. That's why we had the one table this year. I think it was really good at the end of the year. It just happens the 2 best teams made it to the finals.
Indeed they did, and each of the last 3 years, this series has gone the distance. It's gone to the 3rd game, the knockout game. Is there any reason we wouldn't expect the same this time around?
I don't know. Last year when, 3 more overtimes, we played 4 full games. It was crazy. So you never know what's going to happen, really. You really don't know. That's the beauty of our indoor game. I cannot tell you who's going to win or lose.
Let's talk just a bit briefly about this year's team. Obviously 20-4, we know about the success, but you mixed in some new players, such as Luis Morales, bringing in Sebastian Mendez as well. How did you feel the year start to finish went in terms of this group coalescing into the team they are now when you approach the finish line?
Yeah, but you know, it's different when we bring in a couple new players, when you have a Craig Childs or a Leo. You know, even Costa's a couple years old, but or Mitchell's and Sertas. I mean, we have leaders here, you know, so it doesn't, they don't come in a system where, you know, you're fighting for yourselves. These guys bring you in, they teach you the ropes, they let you know what's going on what the Sockers are all about.
And lastly, wrapping up, obviously we know this series is going to go the way that it goes, but what's your thoughts about the future? You've worked so hard to get to this point, right? And now here you are, you've had so much success. What do you think about years into the future? How long do you want to be the head coach? What do you see for the Sockers 5-10 years down the road? Like, where's that? This vision brought us here. Where's your next vision?
Wow, that's a good question. I'm only thinking about 5 hours from now. So that's all I could tell you. And then I know I travel next week sometime. That's all I know right now.
Fair enough, fair enough. We got to stay grounded in the present moment, and that present moment is halftime. Phil, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back with more on Golazo. It's the start of the third quarter at Frontwave Arena. The San Diego Sockers leading the Chihuahua Savage 3-1. Here are your first half highlights of game one of the Ron Newman Cup finals. And in the opening minute, the lovely pass from Costa to Tavoy Morgan, but then just seconds later, Papa Hernandez's shot deflected off Charlie Gonzalez. Boris Pardo came to play tonight with a stunning set of sequences of saves, including this 1-2 combo right here. Castaneda down the middle, and then Moy Gonzalez, a skipper that was targeted for side netting. Great saves by Pardo. Sockers would get that lead back on a Luis Morales do-it-yourself play. Morales jumping on this loose ball, taking the one touch, and then double soul roll, and muy sucio, Luis Morales. Here's the 3-1 goal. Drew Ruggles sent in by Costa. Perfect shot, crossbar down and in. First half shots, 13-8 in favor of San Diego. The scoreline's all that matters. 3-1, Sockers lead as we begin quarter number 3 from Oceanside, California. Craig Elston, Brian Farber, Melissa May, our Emoda broadcast crew here with you. Sockers in black and gold, running left to right in this quarter. Chihuahua in white and red, they'll go right to left. As expected, goalkeeper change for Chihuahua. Christian Hernandez is in. Diego Reynoso is out. Good defensive play by Leonardo de Oliveira of the Sockers right there, using the glass to his advantage as a teammate to play it away from double team danger. There is the 24-year-old out of Mexico City, Christian Hernandez. During the regular season, 5.02 goals against average, save percentage of .681 in the playoffs. He's gotten both wins for Chihuahua as the second half keeper. Goals against just 2.82. He has stopped 5 of the 8 shots he's faced. Here is a free kick for Chihuahua. Flaco Macias will take it. He will roll to the back post for the goal. Unmarked, unattended, Hugo Puentes serves as the bridge to the goal as he takes that one in. Back post tap in for 3-2.
Yeah, Cerda just kind of let that one slide by. He was trying to stay centered. Needed to open up a bit, cut off that angle. Caught flat-footed a little bit.
Well, that was nice and easy and exactly what Chabo, the head coach of the Savage, drew up in the locker room. A goal just 43 seconds in. And it really comes on a moment of inattentiveness for the Sockers Defender of the Year nominee, Cesar Cerda, their defensive captain. Cardenas and Pardo actually had to jump up on that one. Puentes with his 4th goal of the playoffs. The Savage, we said don't concede late in the second. What about early in the third? Macias gets the assist, of course, on that goal. Now here comes Mendez. Sebastian Mendez had a step, tried to go inside and cut to his left foot, and that allowed Valle from behind to defuse the play. Mendez gets his foot on that pass out by Castaneda for a moment, but the Savage are able to regroup. The Ron Newman Cup Finals are presented by Verizon. New and existing customers can get a new iPhone 16 on us, only from Verizon. Lock in your price for your phone and internet plan for the next 3 years. Castaneda, good step out. Cardenas tried to give it back to Gutierrez, kept the play alive for Chihuahua to some extent. There's a battle now, 5-car pileup on the I-5, and it spits out to Ruiz, who shoots it right to the waiting hands of Boris Pardo. Literally nothing Pardo could have done on that goal that was scored by Puentes. That's a player that needs to be accounted for, or else he's going to put goals in. Giles looking for the wall to score, and no one on the back end. Cerda brings it down and controls. Castaneda comes from outside. Rakes it away. Now Ruggles trying to find it away, and he does. Back to Gonzalez. Mendez and Childs lurking in the offensive zone for San Diego. Charlie says, spread out. Cerda says, I'm going to step out on the yellow line. 12-14, running clock, early days, third quarter. 3-2 Sockers, game one of the finals. Game two will be Sunday, Easter Sunday, in Chihuahua at Corner Sport Arena. another 8 o'clock Eastern time, 5 o'clock Pacific time start. And if the series is tied 1-1, a 15-minute knockout game will decide it that day on Easter Sunday. Gontan, Keiko, stepping to the right foot, over the crossbar. Good try by the Spaniard, an MASL rookie who played multiple seasons, over 200 appearances in La Liga. Keiko Gontan. Foul, meanwhile, back behind the play, has put Romero down to the turf for the moment. He will eschew the trainer's guidance and stay on the play.
There's a lot of talking to the refs right now from both sides. Come out of halftime with a 3-1 lead from the soccer standpoint. You want to build on that lead. You want to own the third quarter.
Well, here's what's happening right now. Kyle Trimble had called for the trainer to come out. This is a first-year rule in the MASL that you only have 15 seconds in between a foul and a restart. And if a trainer has to come out, a player is not penalized, but they have to stay on the bench for 2 minutes. And that's what Trimble had signaled, and then Diaz tried to jump up and say, no, I'm fine. I'm back in the play. And he said, nope, you're going to go to the bench and you're going to stay there for 2 minutes. Here's a counterattack opportunity, potentially. Christian Gutierrez, good hip-to-hip contact there by Chihuahua to wedge it loose. Jorge Rios. Now Puentes trying to send in Rios. Ball was behind his hip. And it's sent the other way. Gutierrez will now chase down a fellow Tijuanense in Jorge Leal. Hernandez bends one up the middle. Puentes will send it to the wing. Rios brings it down. There they are, the Rivers and the Bridges working together. Costa out of play. Giving us the opportunity to remind you that Capelli Sport is the official and exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider of the Major Arena Soccer League. The new MASL fan store coming soon, presumably in the offseason, or maybe before next week. Leal's shot was blocked. Quintana, who served a penalty earlier. Cerda. The thing that might be infuriating, Brian, is let's wait to see if Hernandez will intercept. The Sockers have to feel like, to a large extent, they've controlled this match. Well, how did Chihuahua score? One was an own goal, and the other was, a similar error, a marking mistake. So really, it's kind of like 3 Sockers goals, 2 Chihuahua. I don't want to say gifts. I don't want to denigrate in that way, but 2 Sockers mistakes as well on the other side.
Yeah, that's the hardest part about the MASL is that goals can come from nothing, and if you take a play off, you're giving up a goal. And I think Cerda knows that. He knows that as he does anybody. He's been in the league for a long time. I think I don't know, maybe just the positioning. He definitely thought he was shooting, but that ball caught him off guard, and he'll be wanting that one back for a little bit.
Under 10 minutes to play in the third quarter. 35 minutes complete in this 60-minute affair. If it's tied, we go to golden goal overtime. Right now, it's +1 San Diego, 3-2 Sockers. They led 3-1 at the half. Tavoy Morgan brought down that pass from Pardo. Now it's Pee Wee Ortega. Thought he would still have a teammate in the corner. Sent it over there. Morgan now bothering Macias. Ball's loose along the bench wall. And it'll be run down all the way down the floor by Pee Wee Ortega as half of his line changes behind him. Pee Wee, off that long run, might be heading to the bench himself. Cerda trying to spot Charlie. Well done by Pee Wee to let it go through. Charlie Gonzalez at speed, lost control of his run right as he was entering the zone, and it was taken away. You could see he was trying to adjust to the speed of that ball that he had put on him. Now Charlie trying to step in on the steal. And Chihuahua's got it back, looking for the equalizer. 9 minutes to go, running clock, third quarter, 3-2 San Diego. Romero to the captain Escalante. He's known for big goals and clutch goals. Charlie thought he had a steal, and instead, quite accidentally, put it directly into the official's box off of the great Branko Vasic. Brian Scott on the PA said, Branko's a strong man, ladies and gentlemen. He is. He's good. His son Vaso was right there by his side. No need. Branko good. High ball in the air. Ricochet battle for it. Foul is called on Chihuahua. Pardo was yelling for that foul against Puentes, and he got it.
That was a a verbal win of that foul for Boris. I'm not sure you needed to stop the play for any of that, but again, I'm not a referee. I'm just a critique.
I thought I saw you put in your application last week, though, so.
No, just for video reviews.
Fair enough. Let's see what Sigic does. I think you already lost your email. Here's Mendez waiting. Ball kept in play by Chihuahua. They would have earned it if it had hopped out of play. Instead, it's back to San Diego for the moment. Taken away. Here they come. Romero got it started. Puentes works the middle. On the wing, it's Macias. And Morgan does well defensively to stay with Flacco long enough for Charlie to steal it away. Can the Sockers come the other way? Morgan is dropped. Crying for a blue. He'll never get it on that play. Common foul. Approaching the officials' timeout window of this third quarter. 3-2 San Diego with the advantage. Yet to score in this quarter. Mendez was held by Romero. Easy call to make there. Now the next ball out of bounds or out of play will be the officials' timeout, but it's not yet.
I need to see a foul sheet soon.
That's a good call. There's a lot of them. Each player is allowed to commit 3 personal fouls in a half. A fourth is an automatic blue card. And they're also allowed to commit 5 total fouls in a game. A sixth is an automatic red card. Mendez on the steal. Childs, can he be heard from? Didn't have a shooting or passing angle, so he played it out like the savvy veteran would. Gontan hoping to get the return play. Cardenas sending it down that right wall. Bike clearance by Chihuahua. Lovely Chilena there. And now it's the Savage, able to take it back. Romero to Popper, who's out of the bench. It's something we meant to mention early on. Popper Hernandez did take a yellow card right at the end of the first half, so he missed the first 5 minutes of this quarter. Romero, good move on Gontan, coming in, right-footed shot, better save. Pardo punching to the left, rebounds loose, through Pardo's legs, Ruggles kicks it out. Huge moment right there. 7 to go in the quarter. Down to Moy, flicks it on. Pardo makes the save again. Standing tall in net, Boris Pardo. Listed at 6'1", but I think he grew a couple inches right there. Gontan. Pardo runs it out. Looking for Costa. Easy to go over the top of Gabriel, unfortunately. Gabigol, only 5'4". Costa crosses to Quintana. Quintana, rough touch. No steal. That was a perilous moment if there was a steal. It was 1v1 outside. Serra there. 6:20 to go in the third quarter. Costa stepping in, shooting in, kicked out. Will this bounce out of play? It hits the top of the wall and stays in play. Not touched by a fan. Sockers maintain possession. Quintana, strong run up the middle for a moment. Laid it off as the 9th minute in the third quarter elapses. Leo. Lovely ball. Morgan, save made. And then Morgan, blue card against Chihuahua as Morgan got kicked down low outside the play. Sockers are going to go on the power play.
I was watching that entire build-up. There was hands to the face. There was hands. They were both playing a little bit, but it was definitely get chippy down there. And then the ball into Tavoy, where he got a chance on it. As they fell, he lashed out with a kick. The referee was in perfect position. It's definitely 2 minutes.
So 2-minute penalty on Chihuahua, and not only a power play for San Diego, but it's going to start with a dynamite free kick opportunity. Could be good enough right there. Let's wait and hear the call from Kyle Grady, and it looks like a yellow is being added for a major.
Number 6, Chihuahua, 2 minutes kicking, 5-minute major. It's a 2-minute power play. Restart is a penalty kick.
There will be a penalty kick. Holy cow. They call the major. Guys, do we have a replay of that foul? There it comes.
After the ball comes in, he swings. They both kind of fall, but it's this lash out kick right there.
Right there. And the foul's committed inside the box. Clearly the foul was committed inside the box. So technically you get it. So now this is not a shootout. This is a penalty kick. That will be from the white dot in the middle of the semicircle there. And it'll be, of course, Captain America, Craig Childs, the master of the free kick, against Hernandez.
He's yet to go to his line, but
if he fails to convert this, a 2-minute power play will follow. If he converts this, that's the power play. And it's a chance for San Diego to go up 2. And the man who scored 505 goals regular season for the Sockers and 43 more in the playoffs is the man with the chance. Sockers captain Craig Childs.
Referees are waiting to get 4 players on the field for Chihuahua for the power play in case it pursues.
Shot and a goal. Craig Childs has put San Diego up by 2 once again.
There's not another player in the league that I would rather have taken that kick than Craig Childs, so does what he does best. Puts it to the right. Stretch it back to a 2-goal lead.
That goal at 9:10 of the third quarter. That's just classic. Nothing Hernandez can do. With the pace of Childs, any placement that's on net, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, I'm not a goalkeeper, but I think you, in that situation against somebody like that, you kind of have to just guess and go with it and be big.
It's the officials' timeout after the goal. So Childs converts the power play with a penalty kick, and San Diego's up 4-2. What will the back-to-back champions have for an answer? We'll find out next on Golazo.
Soccer fans, it's time to unleash a giant leap for fandom. Introducing MASL Indoor Soccer Fantasy Football. Build your dream team, invite your friends, and create your own draft league, all for free. Draft and trade players and win bragging rights as your team dominates the league. With MASL iFootball, you're not just a fan, you're part of the action. Go to MASL iFootball to sign up, get started, and play.
The Sockers convert the penalty and take a 4-2 lead over the Chihuahua Savage. This is game 1 of the 2025 Ron Newman Cup Finals. It's a best-of-3 affair. The series will go down to Chihuahua as this ball skipped in on Pardo. A deflection by Puentes that could have trickled in if not for his attentiveness. Next Sunday, same time, 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. It'll be game 2. Now it's Morgan. Morgan scores! Tavoy Morgan leaps on the wall of the place he says is his house. It's Frontwave Arena, and it's a 5-2 San Diego lead.
Pee Wee was looking for Morgan on the first try, came back to him, took a touch to the middle, found his chest. Great first touch, half volley, near post. Was able to get that one in. like he's been doing all year long and leading this team with goals.
2 goals in 24 seconds for San Diego. Morgan, second of the night, third of the playoffs, and Pee Wee with that wonderful assist forward. How about the control of Morgan to be able to chest trap that down while moving forward and get the foot loose for the shot. That goal at 9:34. So now at 5-2, Chihuahua has to really start looking for answers. And instead, Gutierrez a steal, goes to a shot, just wide. Gutierrez, big save, rebound, off the post right. Another chance, diving save. This is indoor soccer, ladies and gentlemen. Holy cannoli. Still in trouble. Costa drops Escalante for a foul, and Trimble says, calmate, everything's okay. Wow, what a sequence, Farbs.
That was unbelievable. I mean, that's why we like this game so much. The action down there for 4 shots in a row, saves, blocks, guys laying their bodies on the line, and none of them going in and just keeping it going with the boards. That's what indoor soccer is all about. That was fantastic.
Certainly, Chihuahua can remember that just a week ago in the Ron Newman Cup semifinals, they scored 7 goals on this floor. But that was against Milwaukee, a team that gave them quite a couple during that run of the game. That also was in overtime. The most that the Savage have scored against San Diego here this year is 3. And it's 5-2, so the Savage are really staring at an uphill climb here, and another goal for San Diego would be almost fatal to their Game 1 chances.
Yeah, we talked about this on the broadcast last week. The Sockers set a goal of 4 goals against, 1 a quarter. That's kind of where we try to set the bar, and if we do better, great. But we have to go out there and kind of fight for that. And when you start to feel the game unravel, and it's almost at the end of the 3rd quarter, and you hold them to 2, and you feel like you're doing your job, you bunker in even more, and you really try to hold them down. So Chihuahua gets a goal here. It can kind of simmer that down, but the idea is the Sockers keep this going.
Great wall pass attempt by Macias, but he did not have a runner in the middle. Instead, Quintana brought it loose to Mendez. These 2 first-year Sockers combining in the 3rd quarter of a finals game.
Pay attention to the defense now from the Socker standpoint. The way that they slide and support and block angles and lanes. They take this very serious. Anybody who's on the floor knows that's your job. Don't give up a goal. We win this game, and we can talk about next week, but right now you have a job to do.
Rios is a quiet partner in this game. The possible MVP. Here comes Medrano, defender brought in. Sent to the wing looking for Moy Gonzalez. Played up. Quintana's rushing up with Morales. Christian Quintana off the wall for Morales. Just missed. Racing in Childs off the bench. Childs shot blocked by Medrano. Corkscrews out to the middle of the defensive area, and that's where the Savage bring it back. So once again, and that wonderful quick counter by San Diego and goal interrupted the thought, but again, this series is played over the course of 2 weekends. Hang on, we've got a man down. Uh-oh. Quintana, non-contact injury, immediately grabbed his hamstring, and this does not look good, Brian, as one of the Soccer's big-time acquisitions this year just had to go down on his own.
Yeah, you never want to see a non-contact foul. He looks like it's very clearly his hamstring, which is still unfortunate because he won't be back by next week if it's any level of severity. At least it's not his knee. Rough to get injured in the first leg of a championship series when you come here to do a job.
Christian Quintana, let's take a look.
It was on the lunge.
Yep, it sure was. He felt it on that lunge, and then he got up and he knew it wasn't there.
Yeah, I know that feeling all too well. You know when you do something that is a little bit too far for him, that's super unfortunate because he's been playing so well.
You know, for Quintana, he was trying to win back-to-back cups for either side of this rivalry. Last year, he was acquired from Dallas as a trade deadline pickup by the Savage, and he wound up winning the Cup. This year was the other way around, trade deadline acquisition by the Sockers. And Quintana has helped propel the Sockers to the Cup, but this might be his last contribution of the 2025 playoffs, quite unfortunately so, and we hope not. But Christian Quintana, hamstring, never a good idea.
Yeah, a real hamstring injury is 4 to 6 weeks, and then you still have to get fit after that. So bad timing for him to have that happen.
Medrano. Blocked by Costa, who jumped and timed that well. Played it off the back of his shoulder. Now down low to Puentes. Puentes heads it back, hoping Medrano would run on it. Costa got there first. Quick touching there by Coca. How about Keiko Gontan and Costa? Costa again to get it to Pee-wee. Beautiful passing here. Costa down in the box. Blue card!
In the box.
And in the box, shootout coming for San Diego to grow the lead to 4 with 2:06 left in the third quarter.
Looks like they're going to count it off, so maybe they're not going to give it a
2-minute power play
penalty.
on Chihuahua, tripping.
Okay, so just not inside the crease area in the semicircle. Nonetheless, this will be a power play for San Diego, and they're 1 for 1. Power play begins with 2:06 left in the third. And Costa created all of that with about 4 intricate touches in all 4 quadrants of the field. Here comes the Morales shot. What a save, Hernandez. Amazing. He checks to make sure both of his hands are still attached to his wrists at the end of that this lofted volley. 80-plus miles an hour on that.
I like Morales coming around from the left side. Gives us another angle. Sockers have right-footed shooters. Having a left-footed shooter gives them an option.
Charlie Gonzalez. The Puentes penalty. San Diego trying to convert and go up 6-2. 1:25 remaining in the man advantage. Leo stepping out to the middle, trying to feed Childs. Costa's got it on the wing. Costa having an all-star type game tonight. Charlie, meanwhile, feeling bedeviled as the ball went over his shoulder twice and he couldn't control it. And now Macias is out on the leak out, shorthanded. Luis Morales will be able to run him down and have to include Pardo in the play. Halfway through the penalty, 1:05 remaining in the quarter. And a 5-2 lead for San Diego.
It was well done for Morales to get back. He's playing on the bottom right. He was on the opposite side of the field making a recovery run to win the ball back. Maybe he'll be rewarded from a shot or a goal.
Leo. 42 on the power play clock. Charlie. Childs let it go past, hoping Costa would have a better look at it. Leo to Costa. Costa down low to Childs. Tried to pass it into the net, and he just missed wide off the Kaiser Permanente logo on the goal dasher board. And 6 seconds difference between the penalty clock and the game clock. Costa. Morales. Childs calling on the back post. Childs receiving. No angle. 10 seconds to shoot. Charlie. Childs. 5 on the power play. Lifting over for Leo. Leo skipping it back to the middle. Taken away and stolen. And with 5 seconds left, Diaz sees Puentes out of the box, but he didn't have the outlet to run. Huge difference, and that's how the third quarter comes to an end. So for the Savage, a critical inflection point in this match. They could not concede again and have a realistic path to victory. And they did indeed defend that San Diego power play. 15 minutes remain in game 1 of the finals. It's 5-2 Sockers, and we're back with more after this on Galazo.
this barrel here, or this barrel here. Ooh, that was close. Guys, don't aim at me. I don't have anything to give you. I wish I did, but I don't. Aim for these barrels here. Oh, that was close. Oh, this one's very active. Is there something I don't know? That this barrel, I'm not gonna get close to it because I don't want to get in the way. I don't want to run interference. Oh, that one hopped right over. Did you see that one? It hopped right over. Come on now, if you've got a frisbee, you gotta make it, toss it now, or it's not gonna count. Woo! Am I like wearing a target on my back that I don't see? Oh, my goodness. That's fine, I will take one for the team. 30 seconds, my friends. If you've got a frisbee behind the back, under the leg, I don't know, there's no style points here, but if we don't get a winner, oh! I got a front row seat for that one. Very nice. Are you going to have to split that money is the question. How come this barrel is not getting any love over here? So sad and lonely. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we got one winner here. If you are yellow frisbee, 3, 2, 1. Just like that, 3, 2, 1, yellow frisbee. Congratulations, you won our last frisbee toss of the season. Congratulations, head on over to the east side.
High skill, high buy-in players who rise to meet the moment. The Sockers have them. That's why they are built for this. Boris Pardo, you have to look in net. Pardo, the all-time regular season wins leader in the MASL, but just takes it to an even higher level in the playoffs. Goals against average drops to 3.42 in his career. He's 21-7-4, and this season 2-0, goals against of 257. Outstanding. Christian Gutierrez had the hat trick in the semifinal win over Baltimore. 28 goals, 36 points in 34 career games. And Brian, fourth quarter here, 5-2 Sockers leading the Savage. Fourth quarter is when Christian Gutierrez is usually good for a goal or two on counterattack.
Yeah, he's relentless on the power play kill or sixth attacker against. In any moment that he's got a chance to go forward, him and Cerdo or Pee-wee, they all go forward together so well as a team. So I could easily see him getting a point here as Chihuahua look to pull sixth attacker if the margin stays like this.
Shots through three quarters, 21-12 in favor of the hosts, San Diego. The Savage have managed 4 shots per quarter. So down 3 goals. Hopefully you're seeing the fault lines here clear and stark. Savage can't afford to go down 4 goals. They're only averaging 4 shots per quarter. They're going to obviously have to turn up the pressure. And when you do, that means turning up the opportunity for counterattack.
Yeah, this is indoor soccer, though, so anything can happen. Momentum shifts so fast. They get 1 goal, they can get 2. I mean, we saw it last week. There was a couple goals scored in 20-second spans. So, San Diego needs to stay focused for 15 more minutes and then regroup, get ready to go to Mexico. Chihuahua now here. If they can't close out and get some goals, then they have home field advantage in the next 2 legs back at home.
That's exactly right. Fourth and final quarter. Sockers in black and gold, running right to left in this quarter. Savage in white and red, running left to right. Chihuahua needs a minimum of a +3 quarter to keep game 1 of the finals alive. Otherwise, the Sockers will be 1 step away from their 3rd MASL championship, 7th modern championship, 4th Ron Newman Cup, and 17th overall title, the most in the history of the sport. Mendez crashing into the corner! Save made on the short post by Christian Hernandez. Loose ball, Cerda says, Calmate, I will run it back to that man we were just heaping praise upon, and with great reason, Boris Pardo. What a game Pardo has had here tonight. All world. Speaking of which, Morgan has been just throwing his body around tonight. Leo sending in Mendez. Sebastian chest trapped it down. Whirled around to control. And again, possession is, of course, San Diego's best friend. Ruggles and Cerda. Each minute that leeches off the clock is a successful minute for San Diego. Morales runs back to win possession. Gets it back, triple team around him. Eventually, it had to come to the Savage, and it did with Popper. That's Carlos Hernandez. He gets wrestled down. He should call the foul and do. on Luis Morales.
Morales is arguing that, but that was 2 hands on the shoulders. It's definitely a foul. But the Sockers did a good job there with the possession to drag off to waste the first minute of the clock. See if they keep trying to keep possession.
Popper goes for the skipper shot. Comes out. Escalante tried to center it. Cardenas was able to tip away for the moment. Valle recovers for Chihuahua. As Brian noted so capably, acres of time in a game where we've already seen tonight goals scored 19 seconds apart. Goals scored 24 seconds apart. So you know all it takes is a quick 1-2 from Chihuahua to put this thing in a whole new universe. Right now, it's feeling calm but intense for San Diego. That ball came short of the third line, and as Hernandez came out, it dribbled off the goal wall. Charlie couldn't get a touch, and then Escalante and Morgan collided, and the foul will be on Tavoy. The two will exchange words, but nothing more.
The ball from Pee Wee landed on the yellow line. It was a good no call. It could have squeezed in. Charlie was unable to get to it fast enough to get a little toe poke in, but that's how things can happen so quickly.
13-15 left in the match. 5-2 San Diego. Game 1 of the finals. Moy Hernandez brings it down to Castañeda. Spit out to center circle and Escalante. Now Moy working by the Westin Carlsbad Resort and Spa ad in the corner dasher. Roberto to Castañeda. Pee Wee Ortega on defense. They see Gutierrez. That's why we highlighted him to start the fourth quarter. He wears number 4. It could be not just his personal preference, but his quarter of activation. He's always at the top of that defense. If he can get a steal, he can attack. Steps in to deny Castañeda. Oh, we got Pee Wee down. Pee Wee is down. The play is continuing. Pee Wee is down and holding his ankle. And the Sockers can't get possession to draw the whistle. Now they do. And this is a second critical player. First Quintana, now Pee Wee, Brian, and in obvious pain.
Pee Wee has had a bad injury like this in the past, and if it is that same thing, his Achilles tendon, he knows it right away, and he's emotional right now, which could easily be that. It would be horrible to see that. Backing up, cut, reach.
Oh, he grabbed that right back there.
He knew it right away.
Yeah.
I didn't see a roll. I'm assuming that means Pee Wee is going to be on a long road to recovery.
This is going to be a timeout. Officials taking a timeout. Let's step aside. This is a very difficult situation for one of the most fearless players in the MASL. Sockers are surrounding Pee Wee Ortega right now, offering them their support and comfort. But I think it's very clear that this is a major injury suffered and not a minor injury. Okay, well, in that case, let's take a moment to at least pay off a couple of our sponsors as we hope to see Luis get up. Green Drop offers a better alternative than the outdated compression sleeves and socks, providing long-lasting relief at an affordable price. Green Drop's recovery products are uniquely suited to help our athletes battle aching joints and muscles. Learn more. Try it yourself. Visit greendropcompression.com. Also a reminder to check out all of the MASL's shows. 10 for 10 with Eric Bergrud, MASL Monday with Alex Bastiavansky and Phil Ivanko. And, of course, Under Review with Ryan Sigich and Phil Ivanko as well. And don't forget that Capelli Sport is the official and exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider of the MASL. All new MASL fan store coming soon. I'm not sure. Let's see what they're going to do. They do not want Pee Wee to put any weight on that right leg. He will be helped by Paul Savage and Boris Pardo dragging that leg. I hope we see Pee Wee Ortega back on an indoor floor sometime soon. Can't really overemphasize how important Pee Wee Ortega is to this team. He is one of the talismans of this club. He is a heart and soul player. His fearlessness, his physicality at a small size, 5'6", 130. The Chicago, Illinois veteran, as you said, Brian, he knows what an Achilles feels like, and that's a long-term injury.
Yeah, I'm emotional for him from up here. I feel like I'm on the floor. It's sad to see something like that happen for a player that just got back from it. He was playing so well. Pee Wee is the heart and soul of the team. You can ask anybody.
Tavoy steals this ball. Mendez tried for an over-the-shoulder pass, and it rolls to Hernandez in the crease. Under 12 minutes to go in the fourth. Those are 2 of 5 defenders injured for San Diego now. Valle charging in. Little space for him to the middle. Oh, it's Puentes, and that was an unlucky bounce in. He should have got it on the first try, but it carried home. And it's 5-3 just like that. Everything has changed.
Yeah, he got around the edge. He played the ball across, hit the boards, bounced back, hit Boris as he's getting up, hits his foot, and it actually goes top corner on the far post. And that is indoor soccer. Once again, we've been talking about it. This is how things happen. It happens quick. Childs is trying to compose the team. We just lost our biggest defender. We just lost our most tenacious defender. We just gave up an easy goal. There's 15 minutes left. Oh, sorry, there's 11 minutes left. And you got a 2-goal lead, and you just need to try to stay focused and get through it. But this is sports.
Valle the assist. Each and every one of the 3 Chihuahua goals the Sockers are upset with. Charlie, Childs. Ruggles! Ruggles scores! He paws one back and claws one back and makes it 6-3 again. Drew Ruggles, feed the beast.
The ball gets down to Childs on the edge. He plays the ball through. Drew takes a clean touch. Makes it a little fake, maybe. It looks like he made a fake on the ball. That was maybe just trying to compose his balance. But second touch, little lift over, sneaks it into the near post and gets another goal. Drew Ruggles, he's unstoppable right now in front of goal as a defender. Going forward, he's very dangerous. That's what the Sockers needed right there after what just happened in the last few minutes. They needed to try to get some momentum, get that 3-goal lead back. It's as big in the last couple of minutes here.
And that's indoor. 2 goals in 25 seconds again. But not 2 goals for the same team, each team. And each time we've had these mini flurries, only once has it been for one team, and that was for San Diego. And of course, that's why they're up 3. Charlie brought depth from the floor, able to get it over to Leo. And then Gutierrez was trying to line up an absolute bomb. Instead, back to Charlie. Keiko Gontan in the corner. And the Sockers possess. Morgan now. Morgan pulled down. Shot. Blocked out by Rios, denying Leo. Sockers hoping for a handball. And they have challenged for a handball. Head coach Phil Salvaggio's thrown the red challenge flag.
I think it was the second shot from Charlie. Might have been blocked by an arm. It might have been on the ground. It's hard to tell, but they seem pretty confident in the challenge. They had a good angle from there.
And so we go to MASL video review. And the ref of the year will get a chance to inspect his handiwork along with Kyle Trimble.
San Diego is challenging that there's a handball on the play. The play is under further review.
Well, I've seen a lot of handballs in the last weekend, Farms. Let's see if we've honed in with all our conversations with Rich and Arturo Ibarra and Ryan Sigich and see if we can determine a handball or no on this play. Here comes the review.
So this is a tough angle, but the first one goes through, hits his hand, hits his foot, and then his hand. I'm not sure you're going to get that. It was a deflection, although it might have been deflecting towards the goal. Very challenging to see.
It's going to be on the first shot here.
So he comes around, hits it, foot, then hand.
I'm going to say no handball. Because from what I learned last week, deflected from your foot to your hand, unless they can rule intentionality here, right? I mean,
No.
you'd have to say that there's some intentionality from Rios.
He's going down for a block. I mean, the fans are hopeful, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that one.
So, I mean, does it hit his hand? Yes. Is it deflected into his hand?
Maybe they're challenging the foul.
The rest of it's just great. Great work by Rios. And they have to rule if those are two motions or one, right? Is he first deflecting the ball and then moving it with his hand, or is this deflected into his hand? That's what they have to decide. Here comes the decision from Rich Grady downstairs.
After review, there is no handball on the play. The block was initially made with the leg. The ball then ricocheted to the arm. No handball.
And that's exactly what we've been told by the league's officials. Leg to hand, no handball.
It's kind of what I expected.
Yeah, me too. Not a bad challenge, though, given the circumstance.
Sure.
Fourth quarter, +3. If you get the call, you're probably automatically getting a goal out of it. You probably got the game. That's the only challenge available for San Diego. Chihuahua still has their challenge. But the real challenge is for the Savage. They are down by 3 with approaching 10 minutes remaining in this match. Pardo is able to grab this one. Take it away from Jose Gilberto Lopez. Foul called on Valle.
I'm having a hard time understanding how that is not just advantage. I've been in the MASL, MISL, PASL, whatever you want to call it, for 21 years. Let it play out a little bit.
Leo to Mendez. Sebastian Mendez. And the Sockers don't need to score anymore. They've got plenty on the board. Certainly they'll take them if they're afforded. Morgan trying to be creative again. He's got a brace already tonight, and he's on a hat trick. Working with Costa out of the corner. Plays it back offensive midfield. Mendez. Sockers doing well. 9.5 left in this running clock. Leeching time, ragging time off the clock. Leo lifts it right to the keeper. That would not be the extension of the possession. Now the throw out. Ruggles, ouch, right into the pod squad there. Easy, Drew. What do you got against the great Ashley over there? Actually, I think it was her teammate. Oh, we've got a yellow on the bench for dissent for Chihuahua.
It's easy for me to sympathize with Chihuahua
Number
now.
7,
Drew kicked the ball full length of the
5-minute
field after he hit
non-power play
somebody over the
misconduct for
wall.
dissent.
They wanted a delay. They didn't get it, so they said something, and then they get a yellow card. So, you can't get them all right, but if you're a Chihuahua player right now, you're a little frustrated about the situation, meaning the score and calls. Some of them not
Maybe it was
going your way.
appropriate that number 7, Miguel Angel Diaz, just got that yellow card, because that was a classic Farber right there. Get righteously angry about the play that wasn't called and then get a yellow, and then you're even more mad going to the bench going, now I get the yellow and the thing is the other way. Blah, blah, blah.
Absolutely.
I only saw that happen a couple dozen times with you, my friend.
Well, I'm getting text messages from around the league as we stand here. They are agreeing with me, so.
Fair enough. Well, they should. You're very intelligent.
I
and
appreciate
experienced. Keiko. Oh, what a move. Gontan. Down low. Charlie looking for the dagger. Couldn't get it loose. Now he does. Childs heads it off the glass. Great try by Kreger with 8.5 to play. If the Sockers hang on, they are halfway to the title. It's a best 2 out of 3. The series will go to Mexico next Sunday to tiny Corner Sport Arena, a field that is unlike any other, even Baltimore, in the MASL. We got a player down on the wall.
Oh, no.
For Chihuahua, no, for San Diego.
I think it's Costa. He went in for a slide tackle, and he didn't pop up, and they're asking for help. And then you just compile on more problems.
This is becoming a Pyrrhic victory with the number of injuries the Sockers are taking. And we're still outside the officials' timeout because Savage came out, Paul Savage, and he came running out. That's never a great sign. Costa will, at the minimum, miss the next 2 minutes of action, but hopefully he'll be up here shortly. It's the literal worst spot for our broadcast position to even know what's happening. But let's see, potentially. All right, let's see what we can see.
Well, I know he went in for a slide tackle. It's really challenging to see from that angle what happened.
All right, let's take a break, and we'll give you an update on Costa when we come back. 6-3, San Diego leads the Savage. Game 1 of the Ron Newman Cup Finals presented by Verizon on Golazo. A raucous crowd here at Frontwave Arena, hoping to witness arena perfection. The Sockers 14-0 this season in their new home in North County, San Diego. And they are 8 minutes and change from going to 15-0 and going one leg up in the Ron Newman Cup Finals as we head to Mexico on Easter Sunday. Gabriel Costa was able to walk off on his own power during the commercial break. He is on the bench. In fact, doing a little jogging. We're suspecting he might have banged his knee into the boards. But Costa is okay, which given the fact that Pee Wee Ortega literally had to be carried off the field and Christian Quintana is also out with a hamstring, Sockers could not afford any more long-term injuries. Already looking ahead, thinking ahead, not to put this game away, but just to know that no matter what, a Game 2 will be played next Sunday. The Sockers did rest one healthy defender, Ben Raymond, for this match, getting Gontan in. Here's Morales. Luis Morales shot blocked for a corner. They could put Raymond back in the lineup and slide Gontan to defense, or another player to defense. Christian Gutierrez has played in the back. It's going to be a juggle. Morales misfire on that one.
Yeah, the Sockers will regroup tomorrow after everybody.
Oh, I bet you I know what they'll do. I think they'll put Gutierrez in the back and put Taylor Bond in at forward. Taylor could give him that physicality and bite in a Game 2 that you need on the road in Mexico.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Macias trying for a corner wall pass. Leo took it away. Charlie is the outlet there in hot water. Ball went off Mendez's foot. It's back to the Savage. Under 7.5 to go and down 3. Here's a lift over the top looking for Gutierrez. Christian just lifts it into dead space. Mendez will chase it into the corner. It's back to Hernandez. Chebo Martinez, the head coach of Chihuahua, has to start thinking about sixth attacker strategies as the math is against him right now. Working off the 8th minute of the 4th quarter. 7 remaining. Leo's dropped for a foul. Quick restart. Luis Morales trying to win it. Just wide, and the rebound is high.
He almost got that rebound with his right foot. Just came back a little bit hot. Well done from Leo to recognize that run. It was on quick.
Cerda. Gontan got it loose. Tavoy to the middle. Morales again. Yes, sir. He did it. Luis Morales is pushing San Diego Sur de la Frontera with the win. 7-3.
Morales was not going to pass on a shot like that. Gets it on his, puts it on his left foot, turns, hits two sliding defenders. He's able to get it over them or through them. Took a deflection up over top. Snuck in under the crossbar. Good turn and finish.
8:20 that time, a goal. Morgan gets the assist. Morales is fourth of the playoffs. Tavoy Morgan is having a huge night with 2 goals and an assist. A goal at 8:20. Timeout taken by Chihuahua. Okay. Again, not to in any way discount Chihuahua's attempt to come back in this one, but just to recognize that a game 2 is coming no matter what. Want to help you out in the audience start to visualize what is so different about games in Chihuahua versus games in San Diego. Well, first of all, if you see this giant crowd here, it won't be the same size crowd in Chihuahua because it's a much smaller venue. However, all the fans are right on top of the field. There you see the Game 2 broadcast. Sockers and Savage 1 week from tonight, Easter Sunday. Once you're done with trip to church and dinner, join us for all of the action. But now, as you see these great fans, including some folks that I can see from San Diego Surf out there. Boys, if you could give a wide shot of the field, I want to put something in your mind's eye. Okay, right there you're seeing the middle 2 sections of the floor. Add in one more, okay? All right, from the goal, go from the goal mouth to the second yellow line. That's actually a little bit bigger than Chihuahua's field, okay? So the kind of passes that Boris Pardo has been throwing routinely over and over again that land just inside the third line, those are 3-line passes. Those are restarts for the other team. Plays that you instinctively make that you think are natural become 3-line passes and restarts for the other team, or clearances and restarts for the other team. The ball hops like a kangaroo at Corner Sport Arena because there's very, very little cushion underneath the turf. It's turf and cement. So not only is the ball on a much smaller surface, but it's moving completely differently, and it changes the game. 6th attacker's in, and this is big trouble for Chihuahua. Racing back was Rios, and he stumbled on the ball and captured it. 6th attacker, Jorge Rios, is wearing the off-color jersey. The net to the eastern side of Frontwave Arena is empty, and the Sockers can shoot anywhere outside their own yellow line with impunity on the goal.
So interesting personnel right now for the Sockers on 6th attacker against is you do not have Pee-wee on the top. They have now put in Sebastian Mendez. And you don't have Quintana, so you have to slide around some other adjustments because he's normally in the back.
Yep.
So both of those players impacting the close of the last 5.5 minutes here against 6th attacker.
Ruggles is in there. He and Cardenas will be switching. Ruiz. Gonzalez. And back up top to Popper. Ruggles steps up to challenge. Ruiz. Making Rios over there. Jorge Rios shut out tonight. No goals, no assists for the MASL goals and points leader. He, along with Hugo Puentes and Alex Sanchez of Milwaukee, have been named as the 3 MVP finalists by the MASL today. do wonder to some extent if the two Savage could have split votes to get the MVP to Milwaukee. I think Rios is going to win it. However, as Pardo comes out to challenge here, you once again just see, because fans, once again, if you went to MASLsoccer.com to check this out, I don't have the exact number right in front of you, but in terms of the number, but Chihuahua scored 218 goals in the regular season. It was somewhere around 60 or 70 more goals than the next opponent. So on that level, you'd go, well, this team has the most dominant offense in the league by far. We should even be worried down 7-3, but it's just not the case outside of Chihuahua. But in Chihuahua, the Savage averaged close to 12 goals a game. Now there's one trickling in, another unfortunate deflection for San Diego. But for Chihuahua, they find a goal for 7-4 at the 4-minute remaining mark.
Yeah, he pops into him in the middle, quick turn volley, hits the post, I believe. First, comes back on Boris's hand. Yeah, second time it's happened to Boris tonight. It's just circumstantial and a bit unlucky. Both of those have been pretty unlucky for Boris, but we got to try to close those gaps, and you got to try to block those from that defender in the back. You got to close tight on that person in the middle so you can shut down that quick turn.
Well, that's a hat trick for Hugo Puentes. 4th, 5th, and 6th goals in 3 games of the playoffs. And now he'd be, as Morgan takes more abuse on the ground. Cardenas shoots wide and deflected off the head of Leal. Cristian Hernandez is back in the game in net for Chihuahua. And that was a big goal, but with 3.5 minutes left, Chihuahua needs a lot more. Rios is back out as 6th attacker once again. The 2 defender injuries changing the configuration out there. Some guys you don't normally expect to defend, like Charlie Gonzalez and Sebastian Mendez, are out there on the floor right now for San Diego. See if Chihuahua can take advantage again. Miguel Angel Diaz out to Popper. Rios way too high. Jorge Rios is not having that night. He's hoping for a big one next Sunday. So as it stands, the Sockers inherit the catbird seat. What does that mean? It means that they will go into Sunday knowing that they need to win once. They could beat the Savage in the full game and be champions. But if Chihuahua wins the full game, a 15-minute knockout game will follow with only a 20-minute break in between, just like a halftime break. And the Sockers could steal that one and be champions. Sockers won a championship, their first in the MASL in the minigame.
Well, we spoke about
2021.
We spoke about that early on. Was you have to win tonight in San Diego so you can give yourself 2 chances to try to get that second win. And if it comes in the mini game, so be it. You lose the first game at home. It's understood. They're undefeated at home. They have a big advantage. But anything can happen in a mini game. So you get the first goal and you get momentum and you pack it in. You may win 1-0. It's highly unlikely in that building, but crazier things have happened.
I'm going to tell you something right now. The Sockers need to bench Tavoy Morgan right now for the remainder of this game, because Chihuahua has a new secondary goal, and that is to get a card on Tavoy Morgan that could get him suspended next Sunday. They're doing everything they can to irritate Morgan, and Morgan can play in the red sometimes. Be a great idea for him just to stick and stay on that bench the rest of this match.
Escalante is doing his best effort on that one.
Rios, bomber! Oh, baby, was that Mitchell on the back post? Knocking it out?
That might have been a save for Mitchell. It looked like it from here. He might have got his head on that.
I can't even imagine putting your head in the way of a half volley like that. 2 minutes left in this match. 7-4 San Diego. In the middle, Romero, what a save, Pardo, rebound save, 3rd chance goal. Puentes has 4. The lead is 2. 1:46 remains. And the celebration is forestalled despite all the best efforts of Boris Pardo.
What a finish. Ball bounced back off Boris, off the clearance, came popping to him, and he put it in the roof. He wasn't going to miss from there. This is that moment that we talked about with the momentum shifting, the sixth attacker working, the personnel on the field defensively not used to being on the field due to 2 injuries. All of these things play into those circumstances of anything can happen. Chihuahua could come back and tie this here in the remaining couple of minutes if they keep this up. I'm watching both groups. You can see coaches bringing their groups in, talking about what they need to do to execute. Phil's talking about defense, angles, sliding, supporting each other, help each other, whatever it takes. Like Mitchell's save off the line a second ago with his head, and you said, I couldn't imagine. It's championship game. This is why we play. And he was able to make that save. So now Phil's looking for some more of those moments from the team to keep the ball out of the back of the net, burn down the clock, and regroup this week before they head down to Chihuahua.
Jose Gilberto Lopez is given the assist on that goal by Puentes. Just a wild sequence there, and again, time very much on the soccer side, but one more goal, and everything gets super dicey. This is why you build a big lead, though. Puentes has a 4-goal game. Here's Escalante and Morgan doing battle again. Morgan came out. Foul called. He had that leg out there. Hernandez immediately went down.
Well, you got your defensive personnel on the field. You got 1 minute 36 seconds to burn off the clock. You got a 2-goal lead. You need to be smart, though.
This is the current best 5 for San Diego defensively. They're 3 best defenders on the floor at the same time, and Cerda, Cardenas, and Ruggles, and they all intend to finish this match one way or another.
You got Christian back on top. He's very comfortable up there. You got Leo on the other side.
Cerda gets the touch. Cardenas, though, in hot water, uses the corner glass, and he couldn't clear it. Lopez was able to keep it out. Rios back to Puentes, sitting on 4 goals, looking for 5. Fending in, Diaz shot it wide. Came back to Puentes. Outside, it's Rios. Rios setting up Popper. Carlos Hernandez steps on the ball. 60th minute is live at Frontwave Arena, and the ball's in Boris Pardo's hands. The final magic minute tonight. Soccer 7. Savage 5. That perfect pass. Pardo to Gutierrez off the wall. Looking for Cerda. There's 43 seconds left. Cerda's charging in. Back to Gutierrez. He overshot it. Missed his chance at the clincher.
40 seconds. You can see the urgency has to be there from Chihuahua's side. They got to push it up the field quick.
Final 30 of game 1. Popper to Rios. They must score immediately. Puentes is the man to do it. Laying it off. Romero! Blocked by Ruggles! Drew Ruggles with a primal scream as he denied a goal. 18.6 left.
Drew is doing exactly what Phil was just talking about. You absolutely have to lay out for that ball. It was a big save from Drew, because if that was in, you had to have 20 seconds of mayhem.
Crowd standing and waving their rally towels. Restart for Chihuahua. Put on Pardo, point blank, and saved again. Rios kicked out by Cardenas. Rios kicked out by Cardenas. Sockers are gonna win it tonight, baby. Still loose with 5 seconds and 3, and that'll do her. As San Diego sees full time elapse. The Sockers are going to Mexico, 1-0 ahead in the Ron Newman Cup Finals, taking dead aim at their 3rd MSL championship. But as we know, the toughest, tallest mountain, Brian, is yet to be climbed, and it's in the smallest place in indoor soccer, Corner Sport Arena.
Absolutely. It's going to be a battle. The next 2 legs, if it gets to 2 legs, will be very fun to watch.
Next Sunday, Easter Sunday, 5 p.m. from Chihuahua, Chihuahua. The capital of the state of Chihuahua is the city of Chihuahua, and that's where the Savage play. Corner Sport Arena is their home. It's about 60% the size of the field you just saw, with a trampoline turf, a raucous crowd, and the biggest, best home field advantage perhaps in the history of the sport. They've won 32 straight against American opponents. So while this wonderful win for San Diego has taken them as far as they can go in San Diego, they now know they must win in Mexico to get the Ron Newman Cup. We're waiting for Tavoy Morgan to check in with our Melissa May down on the floor. Here he comes, and here we go to Melissa with Tavoy.
Tavoy, there aren't a lot of perfect things in the sports world, but the Sockers are perfect at Frontwave Arena. 15 straight wins. What does that mean to you?
It means everything to us and the fans. You know, we appreciate you guys for the crowd every night. You know, it's all start from the training ground this whole week, and we did it today in the game.
Chihuahua was very physical with you throughout the game, pulling you down, whatnot, and yet you were still able to maintain your composure and get those 2 goals and an assist. How were you able to do that?
It's my teammates. You know, they push me every day, and they want me to do better every day. So, you know, and these amazing fans push me also. So it's great.
Obviously, the journey is not over. You head to Chihuahua now, but winning tonight, how much momentum and what's your mentality going down to Chihuahua now?
We know what it's going to take down in Chihuahua. We've been there many times, and we're just going to go to the training ground and work on what we need to do, and hopefully we bring home the trophy to our fans.
That's right, and we can't end this without a Tavoy dance, so please.
All right.
Greg Farber, back to you.
Thank you, Melissa. Let's take our last time out. We'll come back, show you the highlights of the second half, and get you set for the grand final 1 week from tonight. Sockers win game 1, 7-5 over the Savage. You're watching the Ron Newman Cup Finals presented by Verizon. Great to have you back with us here on CBS Sports Golazo Network for post-game coverage now of Match 1 of the Ron Newman Cup Finals for 2025. San Diego Sockers beating the Chihuahua Savage 7-5. We saw great goals, Brian Farber. We saw incredible saves. We really saw a little bit of everything tonight. Hopefully this was a great showcase of indoor soccer for the fans around the world.
Yeah, we talked about it a lot tonight, the importance of winning in your home floor, and San Diego was able to come out here and get the victory, but there were moments where it was very scary. This game is all about momentum, and there were times where it looked like Chihuahua was going to come back, but San Diego was able to get the first win and go down to Mexico with a chance to take the title.
It was 3-1 at the half. let's bring you the second half highlights now and show you how things wrapped up. And for Chihuahua, they got that early goal in the third quarter to, you might think, change the tenor of the game, but then a critical mistake by Chihuahua. A card drawn by Tavoy Morgan led to the penalty kick goal. Then Morgan gets the beautiful finish from Pee Wee. Christian Gutierrez here. Great saves by Christian Hernandez, who was playing an outstanding sequence, and Ned actually hurt his back on that play. But the Sockers got another power play, more big saves. Deflected off of Boris Pardo right there for a goal. But Drew Ruggles, huge goal for 6-3 right there. Then Morales, the finisher at 7-3. Chihuahua did get 2 back with 6 attackers. Handball's kind of clattering a little bit, the type of bounces you get in games, but huge save there by Boris Pardo, who was outstanding with 11 saves tonight. And the San Diego Sockers pull it out 7-5. So we've laid it out, Farbs. Obviously, this series is nowhere near over. Chihuahua has the biggest and best home field advantage in the sport, and the rest of this series is played in Chihuahua. But I will say there was an opportunity given by the Major Arena Soccer League this year to whomever had home field advantage to either play 2 full games or to play 1 game and a mini. Chihuahua chose 1 game and a mini. I don't know if Corner Sport Arena is booked for the next 3 weeks solid or what, but they chose this particular path. And to me, it's the path that gives San Diego the best chance to win because they get 2 bites of the apple in 1 day.
Yeah, I don't know what made that decision, if it was scheduling or maybe fear of playing a second game. They have such an advantage, I would assume 2 full games would have been better for them. But like you said, it does give San Diego a good opportunity. Anything can happen in a mini game. I've seen it happen over and over. And if they go down there and get the first couple goals, maybe they can hold on.
We'll find out about the injury situation for San Diego. Certainly looks like they've lost 2 critical defenders for the return leg in the grand final. Pee Wee Ortega certainly, that looked like a devastating Achilles injury, and Christian Quintana came off holding his hamstring and needing help to be helped off the floor. So it would take the most magic work of Paul Savage, but we'll see if either of those 2 players can return this season or if San Diego must soldier on without. With this, we wrap up 15 matches of coverage of the San Diego Sockers at Frontwave Arena, first year in the new digs. And I haven't seen an attendance number yet for this one, Brian, but might have been the biggest crowd of the year at the end. Just have to tip the cap to the Frontwave Arena staff for what they've been able to do to bring in crowds and have new soccer fans created here in North County.
Yeah, new stadium, whole new area for us, new fans, but this place was rocking. There was a wave going around. This is what the atmosphere that the San Diego Sockers wanted, and this is why we have this building.
So that's it for this building, but we want to say a big thanks to our Amoda broadcast crew, their first year in the MASL, doing double duty, doing all of the in-house work and more. Let's say thank you to y'all for the great job done. Producers Chris Karcher and Terry Parrish, our broadcast producer Sean Pettit, technical director Dan Patton, AV Tech Gabe Penn, director of photography Andy Kepper, our Air One camera operator is Luis Cooper, Jim O'Donnell camera operator, audio engineer Spencer White and Matthew Sparrow, Kelly Hyatt our replay operator, Larry Patton on graphics, Andrew Karcher, Ben Taft, our utilities. To one, to all, we say thank you so much for all the hard work you've done to bring the league and the Sockers to the world. Brian, it's been a real pleasure the last few games getting the opportunity to do these broadcasts with you, and I hope we get to do it again.
Sounds good. Thank you for having me. It's been fun to call these games with you.
Halfway to the grand final, but the biggest step is yet to come 1 week from tonight, Easter Sunday in Chihuahua. Catch it all right here on the Golazo Network at 5 o'clock on Easter Sunday, Pacific Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Until then, for Brian Farber, for Melissa May, for our Spanish language broadcasters, Tony Sanchez and Pablo Morales, and our Amoda crew, I'm Craig Elston, reminding you one more time of our final score. Sockers win Game 1 of the finals, 7-5 over the Savage. Game 2 next Sunday. Until then, have a great week, everybody, and so long from Oceanside.